What is up? We are live. It is Saturday. We are doing it at a random time. It is 2 p.m. Central Time. I had some things I wanted to get done tonight. I have to start work tomorrow morning. I got to be up at 3 a.m. So I definitely want to get this done early. But uh, we are here. I don't know how many people's going to be able to make it. But either way, we're going to have fun. We're going to hit the intro. Then we're going to go over what little news there is to go over and then do some drafts. Here is the intro.
We're grinding through the torment. High volume, no management. Taming souls indecent. Grinding drafts through the abyss, no rest in our veins. Feel striking like lightning, flooding endless pains from late season voids. He's dropping all the flames. Bestball Degens unite, shattering the chains. Old school RB stacking fury, derailing trendy trains. Who is commanding the storm etched in our brains? Who hates thunder in the names, claiming all the kills, flames, names, games. Degen wrath refused, stone age torment remains. Bestball eternal in Boulane's infernal domain. Pterodactyl pigs screaming, Cayman chaos reigns. Fossil fury fuels the fire, drafting through the veins.
Oh, what is up? We have Best Ball on call on here. He got you, Pepper Tony. He got you. It sucks to suck, I guess. But yeah, so we have a little news, not much. Let me get to the page. I usually just use. I'm sure all of you guys use the underdog stuff as well, but Joe Flacco does intend to play, and as has been reported multiple times already, the Niners not looking to get rid of Mac Jones, and this was expected as well. Vikings will look to bring in a veteran quarterback of some kind. That could mean almost anything. So, and Max Crosby, as we've already discussed on the channel, is probably going to get traded this year. It all those things make a lot of sense from all the angles. So hopefully the teams are smart enough to do that stuff. We'll see. One thing we know is every NFL offseason, very few of the teams actually do things that are good for their teams. It's like something like 65 to 70% of the teams actually fill out what's best for their teams. And a bunch of the other teams just kind of make some moves and act like they're trying. You can decide which teams you think is doing that, which teams you think are not doing that. But that's how I feel. But anyway, we're gonna do a big board, and if we get enough likes, we're gonna either do a little board after that, uh, maybe a drafters. If the drafters crowd shows up, we could definitely do a drafters. Um, and if we end up getting a whole bunch of people here, like if I can get up to like 35, 40 likes or something by the end of the second draft, uh, I am up for doing a war room today. It's almost 50% filled, so like it's getting close to 50% filled. I've only done one of them, so I definitely need to get them in before it's all said and done. But anyway, we're going to enter a big board, and we're going to enter that big board in 15 seconds.
Bestball began the rest. We never leave the grind. Fury, endless, breaks, relentless, fantasy, reigns. Who waits? Immortal.
All right, we're waiting on 8. Waiting on 8. So this might take a little bit to fill. I don't know. I don't usually draft in the middle of Saturday afternoons. And if you're just popping in, if you can smash a like, that'd be awesome. How are we doing, Chaeto? And let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Chaeto or is it I'm not positive. Just correct me if it bothers you. If it doesn't bother you, just laugh. I laugh when people like call me like they mispronounce my last name a lot. So I just laugh. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, so this is a big board for all those who aren't aware. And so the last year, the big board was 3 to 12, and like the war room, and I think the war room, but the war room was like similar. I don't think it was 2 of 12 last year. But the little board was 3 of 12 too. This year, the little board is not only is it a 20 max instead of a 50 max, but it's a 2 of 12. So it's a much different contest. Your fine means you are absolutely saying it wrong, but I don't care. It's all good, man. Uh, just let me know if it does bother you. Uh, Obviously, you keep coming back, so either it doesn't or you just like the content. So either way, um, yeah. Apparently, nobody's wanting to draft right now, which is fine. Maybe we'll be able to get into it. Actually, I looked at drafters on another screen, and it is also 8 of 12. So, and underdog generally fills way faster. So there is that. We're gonna get some background music going. Um, let's we'll just use the Ducks. The Ducks can't really go wrong with the Ducks. Hey, what's up, Jamie? Um, this is a big board for those of you. A couple of you just popped in. Um, I've finished. I upgraded the Emmett Johnson one slightly. I've actually next week I'm going to start putting all the videos I've done out, like the rookie videos I've done out, individually. I've been waiting until after the Super Bowl because not everybody is a total degen until after the Super Bowl on rookies. I don't know if it's the right call or not, but that's what I'm going to do. And so the image, but I took the time to resize everything and get all the icons and stuff out of every one of the videos. So the videos I have on here on the live stream feed right now, those aren't the ones I'm going to be putting out. I mean, they are, but they're just not cropped correctly. I'm working on the Jeremiah Love one is like half done, and I have the full idea for Cardinal Tates now, and Makai Lemon and Elijah Surratt are coming as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks like we're going to struggle to get this filled. But yeah, I was just looking up copyright stuff on the on that one. I think what it was good, and I'm probably just going to use it as a clip for the channel, so it'll be like an 8 to 10 second clip or whatever. Am I frozen? Oh, I am frozen. Hey, thank you. So we are ready. We got the 104. Alex has the 103. Coolers is at the 105. You all, like Alex being a bro out here telling me I'm frozen. All the other ones are like, we're just gonna let him auto draft. We're gonna let him auto draft, see what happens. Watch an absolute massacre. I thought we were friends, guys. I'm glad Alex is a friend. The rest of you can't believe you. Cannot believe you guys. And then we got Frank at the 111 as well. I've been seeing Sweetleaf in a couple of my stream drafts. If you're here, go ahead and say something. So I have officially moved Puka to my 103. I think that you could argue he's the 102. I'm still going to take Gibbs there because of positional value. And I think that Chase, for me specifically, I think JSN is kind of clearly the 5, but I do think he's clearly in the top 5 just because Kubiak's leaving, right? Like everyone else kind of has a stable situation, like fully stable situation. And JSN doesn't have as stable of a situation. I was interested to hear that Old Karain actually thinks Jonathan Taylor is clearly the 6. I was listening to him with Theo Grimminger. We were discussing some late round tight end stuff in my Discord earlier, and I was listening to that video, and then like at the end, near the end of the video, he actually mentioned stuff about what we were talking about. We got a Drake May at pick 7, guys. We have Drake May at pick 7. Somebody is super amped for the Super Bowl. Absolutely super amped for the Super Bowl. Like, what is his pick at 18? Does he hold off on taking Travion till 31, or does he take Travion at 18? What do we got? What do we got going on? Yeah, no, I think so too. I'm the same way. I'm a little scared of the JT thing because we don't know. Like, as soon as Daniel Jones is re-signed and we find out that he's going to be ready, even if it's by week 3 or 4, I think he's perfectly fine. Because if, as he pointed out, like if JT is what he was at the beginning of the season, next year at the end of the season, JT, like, it doesn't matter what he did the first 3 weeks. If you get him there, you have to have him, right? Like, so there's definitely a case to be made to not be underweight Jonathan Taylor, but that's kind of the case with every first round pick. So it is not J-Man. It is ETX underdog. He is an underdog to advance in this pod. That's all I know. I don't know what the ETX stands for, but the underdog is his ability to advance in our pod. Just saying. Maybe he's on the Gilbert Arenas path. Like, he didn't even take Josh Allen first. He just Drake May all the way. This could be a case of the Super Bowl drafters that we had last year. Like, we're about to find out if that's the case or not. What is it? What happens? What does he do? He's timing out. Take Drake May and go to autopilot? Ramondre, look at him. I was almost right. We got a Super Bowl drafter, boys. We got a Super Bowl drafter. He did not take Chase Brown. He took Ramondre. He doesn't have a badge. I'm assuming they didn't read the contest rules and they don't know what they're doing with the contest. Man, I really I'm going to go ahead and take Bowers. I think that Neighbors is a very scary prospect right now, and I think that it's going to get double counted with the injury and the Nagy stuff. I could see him being a mid-third rounder after a while. Yeah, it's definitely rising. Just don't take Matt Collins in round 3. I think that he's probably, like, if Kenneth Walker's there, I bet he takes Kenneth Walker, but I'm fairly positive that Kenneth Walker's not going to be there, because I'm pretty positive that the guy in the 3 hole or the 4 hole is going to take Kenneth Walker if Kenneth Walker's available. We got 11 watching. We got 2 likes. We can smash those likes, guys. Like, no rush. Just make sure it gets done at some point. So I think this is our very first Brock Bowers team. I mean, I lied because Nico is still here. So we're going to continue to take all the Nico Collins. Like, all of the Nico Collins. And, like, I think the Breece Hall versus Kenneth Walker is very interesting as well. Because Kenneth Walker, I think, is at the peak of where his draft capital can get to. And Breece Hall, if he gets a good landing spot, like, if Breece Hall goes to Kansas City, he moves up, right? Like, I think the market will, like, unjustifiably be like, put him up there in route, like, with Chase Brown. um, until we get an offensive line. I mean, he's kind of like, it's kind of one of those things you can do it anyway. Like, I've taken him at 25 because I do think that if any of them rise in this round, it's going to be Brees Hall. I don't see Bucky Irving rising. I don't see like Chase Brown. I don't think is going to rise too much, even if he signs. So we got Cooper Kupp. Concern levels starting to get high. Definitely starting to have a little concern here. We got Drake May, Ramondre, Cooper Kupp. Not all heroes wear capes. You would think that they're looking at the draft board at some point and trying to figure out why no one else is taking anybody from that game. We're fine still. Like, to be honest, I don't think this is going to get thrown out at all because number one, it's only one person doing it, and number two, like, it's obviously not a collusion situation. Look at these other 11 EA drafting the Pro Bowlers, right? Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, what are these guys doing? Why are all 11 other people idiots? Man, I'm so rich, as Cooler says. I'm so rich. Jury's out. What do we got? EXT. What's he going to do here? Shaheed? Is this a Shaheed pick? Or is this a Diggs pick? What we got? Jake Ferguson. That was not on my bingo card. That was not on my bingo card at all. Newsflash, Dallas hasn't been in a Super Bowl since the 90s. EXT underdog. Just so you know, Dallas has not been in a Super Bowl since the 90s. I think you lost your script, guy. So I don't have a whole lot of JMO. I also don't have a lot of Adams. We're gonna go ahead and take the JMO slight fall here. I kind of expect JMO to fall. And like, I have Adams rated higher, but I do want some JMO, and I have a really, really hard time taking him where he goes. I mean, maybe. Like, to be honest with you, I would just laugh if this guy if this guy advances out of this pod. I'm just going to laugh, right? Like, it would actually be hilarious. And I would probably have a really bad best ball season. Because Cooper Kupp mattered, right? Like, if Cooper Kupp matters this season, I don't think he's a bad pick, but man, he goes late, right? And I prefer Torrey Horton for sure. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to Coolers, but okay, so Lamar goes anyway. We're gonna go ahead and take Judkins as our running back one here. I was listening to some stuff today. Judkins apparently had the same exact injury that Fred Warner had, and Fred Warner was back almost ready to play 96 days later, and we have an entire offseason to go. So most likely Judkins will be ready. And if we are all forgetting, he didn't even have an offseason last year. Yeah, I cackled. Nothing wrong with a nice cackle here and there. All right, what do we got? What do we got, guy? EXT, you are the hero of the show right now. Hey, man, he went back for the booty. We've all went back for the booty though. So we got Drake May, Ramondre, double stacked with Kayshawn Booty, the Cooper Cup bring back in the Super Bowl that won't matter next year, and Jake Ferguson because Dallas Cowboys rock. Poor guy got sniped on Hendo. He did. He really did. Be curious to see if Sweetleaf here, who's also a no badger, like stops at running back or not, right? Everything else they've done makes sense. Like the Rice pick is risky, but this is a really strong start. And this is kind of where I think Travion and Harvey should go. Like, I don't like them over here where these wide receivers go, where Lamar goes, where Loveland goes. But in the middle of the fifth, I think that they're worth mixing in. Yeah, so Joe Burrow does go. I was sort of hoping that he would come back. I didn't really expect it, knowing that QB was over here. And that's why if Lamar made it to me, sorry, Coolers, I was taking him. But I also don't have very much Mendoza. And this definitely feels like a 3-quarterback team. So we might just push for late quarterback and go like first quarterback Jared Goff. And then try to get Nico and Mendoza or something. We'll see how all that plays out. Like, I would have taken a shot at Jaden if he came back around as well. So, what's up, Steve? How we doing? I was making a list earlier of all the people I need to link up with for my channel at some point, and obviously Steve was on it, but I'm basically trying to make a list of people who are currently drafting, right? Like, all right, so I'm not getting to a whole bunch of Cortland Sutton either. I think he's a pretty risky pick, but we'll go ahead and take Sutton here. We're building a much different team than we have been for the most part here. This also gives us an out to the Bo Nix if Bo Nix falls, because like there's a very small chance that at 100, where's the Almond drafter? So they've already taken Jay Daniels. There's a very small chance that like Goff falls. I could end up not taking the late quarterbacks and go Nix, Goff at 93 and 100. We'll see what happened with the running backs at that point. So the quarterbacks are actually kind of evening out now, right? Like they're starting to go in. I mean, we're gonna continue this, and we're just gonna take the value at Mike Evans. Like we're gonna be able to stop at 6 receivers if we want here. Probably still draft 7. Probably just gonna add 2 late rookies to this, right? Like we have Jamar Chase, we have Nico, we have JMO, we have Sutton, we have Evans. Like add a couple late guys like a Jeremy Bernard plus, like, I don't know, maybe we end up getting stuck with Shadur and we take Isaiah Bond as the last one. But I think that we're basically done at wide receiver, other than 2 very, very late draft picks here. And then we just hope we don't get screwed on bye weeks. Coolers takes the Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields. So when you take Drake May at 7 and Ramondre at 18, Cooper Kupp, Jake Ferguson, Kayshawn Booty, you got to grab the value of your second tight end with Tyler Warren, right? Like you absolutely, that cannot be overstated. You have to get your Tyler Warren value. And after you get your Tyler Warren value, you can live a little, right? And there's not, you can't live much more than taking Justin Fields at pick 79 in today's economy. So, yeah, I don't know. If nothing else, I'm enjoying this. So, I mean, if what they said about drafts being tossed is more or less about like unique combinations and stuff, at least that's the process for the daily games. If that's the same process here, I don't know if it's the same process, but if it is, we're still good, right? Because we don't have like insane things. Oh yeah, exactly. Like there's no reason to like push the plane and log out, right? Because if it stands, like you have one guy taking players off the board like half the draft. But that doesn't like that just means like in round 10 we'll get around 9, or in round 9 we'll get around 8 guy or whatever, maybe. If you take the ADP everywhere. I mean, Tucker Kraft's still here. I'm going to have a hard time taking him, though, because of my roster construction. So, I need a running back here. I'm probably going to go back-to-back running backs. You're gonna make me choose if I want Tucker Kraft or not. It's going to suck. Okay. I appreciate the fact that you took him. So I kind of prefer Pollard here to Monungai. So we're going to go ahead and take Pollard, especially as a RB2. Yeah, we are in danger with the Samson Nakua pick. Red alert. Red alert. He's got a... Is Tom, like... Whoops. Hold on a second. I think Tom Brady... Okay, Brady's not in the player pool anymore. So I need to get a little more. Rico is a player that I definitely need to get more of. So we're going to go ahead and take him here. I know the other day I was saying that I haven't been able to get much Corum because I'm not taking running backs here. That's true, but I've also not got any Dowdle, and I prefer Dowdle to Corum. And I've actually taken Corum 2 or 3 times since I said that. So I'm kind of evening that out. I would like to even out the Dowdle stuff as well. Here we go. The star of the show is on the clock. What do we have? We have Sam Darnold. Got to have your third quarterback when you take Drake by round 9 when you take Drake May in the first. He is an insurance policy in case Justin Fields doesn't hit the flex. Yeah, he got a stack. He got his. So, I mean, I'm getting a little worried at my 3 late quarterbacks right now. I will say that. Definitely not feeling the strongest about that. I feel like I'm an anthropologist observing it. Yeah, you're basically this is probably what Steve Irwin felt like every time he went out in the wild. If I could do impressions, I would totally do an impression there, but I would probably just offend people if I try to try an impression. Or Ben Stein. A Ben Stein commentary on this would be fantastic. this creature uses the element of surprise. Yeah, it's like a body blow. The Samson Nakua is basically a body blow, right? All right, what we got here? Are we gonna pull up Torrey Horton, or do we already have our stack? We're good there. Chase Claypool, maybe. George Halani, absolutely. He did have 4 targets last week, or 2 weeks ago. So, all right, this is probably going to be a 4 quarterback team. I'm just going to bite the bullet and say it's 4 quarterbacks. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to take Algier here. If Mendoza comes back, we'll just take him way above ADP. I was hoping to do another draft, but our like count isn't very high today. I'm probably going to do another draft either way. A third draft, like if we end up getting a bunch of people to watch, if we can get to like 35 likes today by the end of the second draft, which looks far-fetched right now, I plan on doing a war room. Because I do need to get some war rooms in. Speaking of Steve Irwin, did you know he was known for loving crocodile? Reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. So one of my favorite jokes. Do I really want to do that? Yeah, we're living. We're living in EXT Underdogs world right now. We got to build the green log. Yeah, so one of my favorite Steve Irwin joke is did you hear that they you hear that they discontinued the Steve Irwin suntan lotion? Yeah, it got recalled because it didn't protect against deadly rays. That's my personal favorite. Like I definitely have used that. I heard that like a week after the incident, and I will never forget that. So I don't expect Mendoza to come back. Somebody's hogging some quarterbacks all the way down to Justin Fields. But if we can get Mendoza back, we're going to feel decent about this. What did he do there? So he takes Shaheed there. Back on track, baby. Like, only 15 picks of ADP lost there? That is fantastic. Like, this guy knows ball. Absolutely knows ball. So, if we don't get him, like we just take Stroud, right? Or Cam Ward. We didn't take any. I mean, we could take Bryce Young too. Like, because we have, I guess we can't. Like, Dowdle's going to be gone. I was thinking that was Chuba for a minute. Yeah, I would love to do a war room. I'm probably going to do all my war rooms on stream. I have an idea for my bigger boards. We'll see if that works out. I mean, this is a good price on Concepcion. Like, I might have been tempted to even push quarterback further if Concepcion was there. Yeah, if Concepcion was there, I would have pushed it further. For sure. And taking Ward on this team is like perfect because I can take Chimere DK, assuming he makes it back. Like, That'll allow me to take Chimere DK as well as a 6, and then I can add that's the perfect number 6 for this team to be able to stack add Omar Cooper or a random rookie. Oh yeah, it is. I went back and I looked at my first War Room. It wasn't my favorite draft, but it did work. It's my own. It was one of my only shares of a certain player. Yeah, we do get Cam Ward. So this is actually starting to feel pretty good. So right now we have a 2-5-5-1. We have CJ Stroud. We have Cam Ward. Running backs we have Judkins, Pollard, Dowdle, Algier, Emmett Johnston. Wide receivers were stacked. We have Chase, Nico, Jamo, Sutton, Evans, and then we have Brock Bowers down here. So I feel pretty good about this team, honestly. Might end up going 3 tight ends, might stop at 2. I'm not sure yet. Definitely stopping at 7 receivers. Definitely going 3 quarterbacks. Definitely need 6, maybe 7 running backs. Four rookies is the most I have in a single entry. Is it? Hey, what's up, Steven? I'm thinking Sadiq is going to fall. I think Sadiq here fairly soon is going to be a staple in round 14. I think he's going to continually fall. All of the main sources are questioning him. Nobody's expecting him to kill the combine. Maybe he's a lot better at the combine than we think. But in my eyes, I think Sadiq's just going to fall a little bit. And that we have some okay free agents at tight end as well. And as an overall prospect, Sadiq is good, but he's not nowhere close to a lot of the prospects we've had the last 2 years. So I took some of them earlier, but I'm definitely on the let's wait on Sadiq plan at the moment. Oh yeah, and he was after ADP and all that. That's kind of where I've got my. I don't have 0% after 25. I think I'd taken him twice or something. So this could be a Malik Willis team, but I was planning on. I don't know. It's a Malik Willis team, I think. Since I don't really have stacks available. It is not a Malik Willis team, apparently. All right, so we're just going to take Jerry Jeudy here. We're going to set up Shadur. We have Quinshawn. We now have Jeudy. That's my first Jerry Jeudy share. But we have Stroud. We have Cam Ward. We're definitely going to need a third quarterback. I might even take 4 quarterbacks on this team. I feel really I can stop at these 6. I probably won't. I definitely want a rookie at the end. I haven't been able to get very much Dalton Schultz, but he makes sense here. Do I want to pull him up, or I think I want one of these running backs, though. I want to. So we have those guys. Rachaad White kind of fits this team pretty well, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and take Rachaad White to finish out the running back room. The running back room, Quinshawn, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, Tyler Algier, 2 free agents, Emmett Johnson, and Rachaad White. It's definitely not the sexiest running back room, but it's definitely one that can work. If Schultz makes it back, that's fantastic. If Schultz doesn't make it back, that's also just fine. I'm perfectly fine. I want Gunnar Helm on this team either way. So those are the 2 picks I'm looking at for the future. So back to the underdog, the EXT underdog draft. After Shaheed, he followed it up with Hunter Henry, AJ Barner, Austin Hooper, all three tight ends. He has 5 tight ends. Jake Ferguson at 42, Tyler Warren at 66, because you got to take value when you see it. And then rounds 12 through 14, a tight end can hit the flex. I say it all the time. So why not take Hunter Henry, AJ Barner, and Austin Hooper? You got to make sure, like Drake May does like throwing to tight ends. So you have to make absolutely sure that you have the right New England tight end for those spike weeks. And then he follows that up with Mac Hollins, which if I were to rate his picks, Mac Hollins would be in the top half for sure. If I were to go through his draft and go pick by pick, what was his best values? Mac Hollins might be in the top 25%. Mac Hollins at 175. Let's do that right now. Tyler Warren, easily his best value. Second best value is probably Shaheed. Third best value is Darnold. And then it's probably Mac Hollins. Actually, no, it's Hunter Henry. It's Hunter Henry, Barner, then Hollins. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just ignore ADP at this point. We're just going to take... Actually, I don't know the ADP. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and take Gunnar Helm. I wanted them here. So he took all those quarterbacks, and now quarterbacks are falling. It's very interesting. The scare is over. So taking, like, Terrence Ferguson would be perfect on this team as well. So would, like, I think that this is a team I kind of want like a last round Michael Trigg though. Do I want... I think I'm going to just pull Shadur up here because I have the 2 Browns. Yeah, that was the talk earlier. We wonder about that. So we pull Shadur up. If any of these guys are available when it comes back around, we're probably going to add one. Add a fourth. I think this team definitely needs a fourth quarterback. I think our wide receivers and running backs are awesome. And our first quarterback, CJ Stroud, second Cam Ward, and we have Shadur. I know it's a onesie position, but like if we one more quarterback, one more wide receiver, one more tight end, I think my team feels pretty good. Tank Bigsby is a player I haven't gotten to yet, but I fully should. I was going to be bullish on the Eagles, and I'm starting to think that I don't know about the Eagles. The offensive line coach leaving, Dickerson talk about retirement at an early age. Tush Push is absolutely going to be gone, which is probably actually more bullish for Saquon. I mean, it's one of those things. There's plenty of things out there I don't do, but I absolutely understand, and I don't think it's a bad idea. And that's one of those. I think if you're comfortable with the heavy bag of Bigsby, it's fine. Like, it definitely not the wrong decision. Like, yet, right? Like, it may be down the line. It may absolutely be the wrong decision down the line. So, tight ends, like, I'm basically just looking to add Michael Trigg or Eli Stowers as the last pick, right? Like, we have Bowers, we have Gunnar Helm, so we're just looking for like a rookie upside kind of pick. Maybe Tonjes. I think Tonjes is criminally underrated right now. Like, do we really think that George Kittle's going to be back and playing first half of the season? There is worry that like Kenyon Sadiq goes there, or that they sign Isaiah Likely. Like that's an actual worry. Like Isaiah Likely on the Niners would be insane, right? Like his draft capital would get so out of whack, like just crazy out of whack. I can't believe you did that to EXT, man. What are you? Come on, Coolers. Let the guy live. Let the guy live. I couldn't make my decision, so we're just gonna pull Trig up. I don't want Aaron Rodgers right there. I thought about taking Zachariah Branch. I have a very, very hard time taking Branch over Cooper, but this is a team that needs a rookie. We're taking one of these rookies here. Brazil makes some sense too. This is a team that I could take a shot on. I don't like it, but maybe Anthony Richardson. I think I'm just gonna take Kirk Cousins here, actually, and I'll let somebody else have Omar Cooper. We're not gonna take him. So we're gonna go ahead and take Bernard. We'll be done at wide receiver there, and we might take Ty Simpson here. We might take Aaron Rodgers. If those are gone, we're just gonna take a shot at another running back, and maybe we just decide to take a shot at another running back anyway. So we have the Texans. Yeah, so I could be talked into adding Caleb Johnson to a team like this. Mike Washington for sure. I don't have very many shares of McGowan. I think that he's going to be a later draft pick, but I do like him. So hopefully we can just take the Aaron Rodgers unstacked thing there. Maybe Ty Simpson's the better bet. I don't know. I think I'll take with the fourth quarterback. I think that taking the upside with Ty Simpson. Yes, it is. I don't know if you're just joining, but we have a hero here. We'll review after my team. We're going to review this guy's team. EXT Underdog. He started the draft Drake May Ramondre and took Justin Fields at pick 78. So yeah. I don't know who the handcuff is. I really don't. I don't know who the handcuff there is at all. So, yeah, I think Ty Simpson's the right call here. I doubt Coolers takes him. So he doesn't take him, but he did, just in case I change my mind, he sniped me on my stack. So we got a 4-6-7-3 for sure the first time I've done this. Stroud, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and Ty Simpson. Just get me 22 points every week, please. That's all we're asking. Spikes, maybe, right? Running backs, Judkins, Pollard, Dowdle, Algier, Emmett Johnson, Rashad White. Gross, but works. The heart of the team is wide receiver. Chase, Nico, Jamo, Sutton, Evans, Jerry Jeudy, a little after ADP, Jeremy Bernard, and then Brock Bowers, Gunnar Helm, and Michael Trigg. So we have a little stack there with just Gunnar Helm and Tony Pollard and Cam Ward. We have Shedeur stacked up with Judkins and Jerry Jeudy. And then we have CJ Stroud stacked up with Nico Collins. So the team works, but I definitely don't love it. I think, like, I don't even think he's going to get traded. I think he's going to get cut and signed for league minimum, kind of like Russell Wilson a couple years ago. I did that a couple times, but I want some Ty Simpson. Like, I don't love him as a prospect, but it's kind of the Jalen Milroe bet at this point, to a lesser degree, right? All right, we're gonna go to the hero of the draft and check out his team, EXT Underdog. He killed all of us in projected points. Drake May at pick 7. Gotta love it. Justin Fields, pick 79. Do what you do, man. Sam Darnold, 103. He got some value there. Only 20 picks. Only 20 picks ahead. Michael Penix at 199. Absolute, easily the best pick he made. Ramondre Stevens, when you're gonna go 4 running backs, you gotta have your hero Ramondre at pick 18. George Holani at 114, Pierre Strong and Emmanuel Wilson to solidify the back end of it. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp at 31, Kayshon Boutte at 55, Samson Nakua, because why not? I hate money. Rashid Shaheed, Mac Hollins, Marvin Mims, Chris Bell. Tight end, you got to pull Jake Ferguson up to pick 42. And then take the value at Tyler Warren, and then make sure you get your Super Bowl stack in Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper and A.J. Barner with your quarterbacks. You got to go 4 quarterbacks, 5 tight ends, and have no value at any of the picks. That's how we build best ball. Good luck to you. If you win this pod, just congratulations. We're looking at one of the teams of all time. I'm definitely going to post that team to X at some point, for sure. He drafted Samson Nakua, guy. The guy knows players. He drafted Samson Nakua. Maybe he thought Puka was still available. Maybe that's what was going on. But he went out of his way to draft Samson Nakua. All right, we have a 2-7-8-3 here by Alex. Quarterbacks, Caleb Williams and Jackson Dart. Running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyle Monangai, David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins, James Conner, Dylan Sampson, Adam Randall. Wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, George Pickens, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Wan'Dale Robinson, Trey Tucker, Zachariah Branch. I almost finally took Branch plus Cooper. I like that combination. I like this wide receiver room a lot. I do think Neighbors falls more. I passed him because I haven't got a single share of Bowers. But I do think that he continues to fall. And then tight end, Colson Loveland, Theo Johnson, and Travis Kelce. Perfect room to draft Kelce in. If he retires, you're still fine. Love the team. We got coolers at the 5-hole. 3-6-8-3. Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, and Malik Willis. You gotta make sure you get both quarterbacks from Green Bay last year. Running backs, Jeremiah Love, Breece Hall, Blake Corum, Kamani Vidal, Tank Bigsby, Ray Davis. Just solid all the way around. And like I said, when you took Breece Hall, he's the guy in the 3rd round who has the biggest chance to raise or fall. If he re-signs with the Jets, he falls 10 picks. If he signs with the Cowboys or Chiefs, he raises 10 picks. So I think he's a solid gamble right now. Wide receiver, JSN, Zay Flowers, Egbuka, Jordan Tyson, Jaden Reed, Casey Concepcion at a value. A guy who's generally getting drafted ahead of ADP, you got after ADP by a full round. That feels good. Kyle Williams, Jalen Noel, Tucker Kraft, 10 picks after ADP, Kenyon Sadiq, and David Njoku. Would expect nothing less than a solid team. And as he said earlier, he's just drafting balanced teams this year. And then we got QB the King here. By the way, the everybody expects that Brees Hall lands in the best landing spot. We'll get to that in a minute. We're going to do the poll. So we're going to do a second draft poll. It'll be a little board or a drafters. Go ahead and vote. And after I review this team, we'll do that. If we can get to 35 likes after this next draft, I'm going to do a war room, assuming we can get the war room to fill. So if we get to 35 likes, we will be doing a war room later tonight. So QB the King, 3683. Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett. I think there's very little chance that they're on the same team. So I do kind of like doing that, especially if you took some Arizona, and it looks like you did. Running back, James Cook, Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift. Swift kind of feels like one of the bigger values on the board to me right now. I don't know if you agree. Trey Benson, I'm like 50-50 between him and Connor. Keaton Mitchell and Brashard Smith. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Xavier Worthy, DJ Moore, Jordan Addison, Jalen Coker, Troy Franklin, Adonai Mitchell, Fannin, Strange, and Freiermuth. I've stopped taking Strange because he keeps falling, and I'm just gonna take a whole bunch of him if he continues to fall. So we could do the bigger board stuff. We could do in two different ways. I will reach out to him if I can figure out how to reach out to him. So on this, I said 35 likes for a war room. If we can get to 45 likes by the end of the next draft, we'll just do it a bigger board. And if at the end of the war room, if we get to 60 likes, like either one will work, we could go ahead and do a bigger board. I'm all game for it. I need to do them anyway. Hopefully we can get some people in here. But yeah, I will definitely be posting this on X later, basically as a filter to my YouTube account, so people can watch the live stream draft of it. So that is my plan. Whenever I am done, I'm going to try to filter some more YouTube stuff. But anyway, let's look and see what the vote is. Like always, everybody wants to draft on Underdog. Let me bring it up here on my phone since the location errors are still a thing. So we're going to do a little board, and we're going to enter in 15 seconds.
Bestball Degens, we never leave the rhyme. Fury, endless, breaks, relentless, fantasy, reigns, who waits, immortal.
All right, we got 4 of 12. Hopefully I don't get frozen again. What's up, Al Boogs? How we doing? I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. Gonna put a song on for a minute. Not everybody's heard this. This is eventually going to be my outro. Let me know what you think of it. I'm gonna just put it on for a minute while we're waiting for this to fill. Shout out Jamie P. Rog or Parag. I'm not positive how to pronounce it, but just makes killer music. All right, so we're just going to put that in the background a little bit more. We're still waiting on 5 for a little board. What's up, Loots? How we doing? While we're waiting on this, I'm going to go ahead and go name the other draft. Like, I'm not saying I love it, but it happened. I tried to push some quarterbacks in this last one, and didn't go so well. So we got that named. We need three more for a little board. And then if we get to 35 likes, we will do a war room. And as Peanut Punch says, this is going to be the goal basically all the time until I've done it. Until I've done at least one. Like, if we get to 60, we'll do one until I've done one. And at that point, I'll look and see where the fill rate is and stuff. Because we're almost at 20% and it's a 5 max. So guess I can change the timestamp on this since it's gonna be a bit before we actually fill it. All the Degens aren't out today. It's kind of crazy. People actually like living life. It's a nice day out, all that stuff. I start work tomorrow. Like, I've been off work for 3 months or 2 months. My first day back is tomorrow morning. I do have but I'm gonna be able to leave early, so it's all good. Like, I'm gonna be home in time. I do have a sweat. It's on Drafters. I can show it to you when we're done. So, all right, we are at 1 hour and 2 minutes. And all right, we're going to go back to feeding the ducks. Yeah, so we get the 102. We always draft at the top, like always up here. 106, we got game tight. I've seen Quicksta 44 in a couple of my lobbies. Never heard you speak. I don't know what your handle is, but if you are listening, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And for those of you who are watching over on X, we have 8 of you watching on X. It would help me out tremendously if you could use this link I'm going to put in the chat right now. Come on over to the YouTube side. We are very, very close to 400 subs. At 500 subs, I will be doing a 8-hour live stream. Most likely we'll wait until after the NFL draft, and we will do a like whenever the puppy, basically like one of the first days that the puppy is out on a weekday, we will probably just be live for 8 hours doing puppies, have some guests on, all that stuff. It'd be a good time. What's up, Bindles? How we doing? I mean, I should have taken Drake May. I kind of like what that guy did last time. I probably should have taken Drake May and then Ramondre just to make sure I got him. We got to make sure to have our Super Bowl sweats in. I've been awesome. You were one of the first names I wrote down earlier. I was going through all the people I need to get a hold of to invite to have on. So I plan on messaging you later, see if we can figure out a time. I know my normal time doesn't work for you, and weekends don't usually work for me, so it's a little harder. But yeah, I'll be in touch. So JT falls to the 110 here. That feels pretty good. And for those of you who have just come in, if you can smash the like for me, that's awesome. And like I said before, 35 likes by the end of this draft. gets us a war room. I mean, if you're free, like, I don't mind doing this over right now, but if you're free this Monday or the following Monday, either one works for me. Just let me know which one works better. The day after the Super Bowl or the week after the Super Bowl, either one, perfectly fine. 4 p.m. Central. I have one guest currently scheduled, and it's on a Wednesday. So, and then Thursdays will be the Who Crew thing. Game Tight doing some stuff, doing little board stuff. Like, I'm not gonna do it, but crank up the likes for the bigger board. I mean, I'm fully game. I actually have an idea of what to do for my bigger boards. So I have a bunch of pickings because I keep drafting over here. And I have so much of those players. So we're gonna get a little weird too. Sounds good. I'll pencil it in afterwards. And then I'll message you as well to to confirm it and all. I think I still have the graphic you gave me a while back for the intro or for the clip. So we're going to take a share of Bucky here too. We're just going to go hyper fragile here, I think. So we're starting off high T. We got Gibbs, we got Brees, we got Bucky. The reason I pulled Brees all the way up is because I wanted to pull somebody else up as well. I know Bucky sometimes goes over here, but very seldomly with Brees. I have like 20% Nico and Olave because I'm picking at 1, 2, and 3 over and over again. That's right. Yeah, I mean, to be like, I don't let things bother me like that. And I would rather get something done whenever it's on my mind. Hey, what's up, JT? How we doing? Thanks for popping in, sir. Nobody said this channel's professional, guy. It's there. It has a product. That's it. Definitely not professional. We're just a thing. Yeah, it does look like we may end up getting to the 35 likes. I assume whenever we're near the end of this draft that the likes pop up. All the alt accounts will jump up there. Everybody likes to watch me spend money. So there is that. And if we're close, I can always jump in and like it myself. I don't usually like my own streams, but it is something that is possible. What are you doing here, Game Tight? Were you inspired by the last draft? Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson? Is Justin Fields next? Please take Justin Fields on this team. I'm pretty glad. I'm pretty happy that Scadaboo went there. Because I would have taken Scadaboo and just been done. Like, completely done. I think I want Terry here. But I'm fine with any of these. Like, I'm even fine with Waddle, honestly. I'm having a hard time overall taking Luther Burden. So thank you. So through 5, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Bucky Irving. Wide receivers, we have Zay Flowers and Terry McLaurin. I highly doubt that Jaden Daniels falls back. He was earlier in the offseason, but he doesn't very often now. But that would be optimal here. Looks like the winner is currently being drafted in the 6 hole, right? I like this start. Man, these teams this year feel so good whenever you start with 3 running backs or have 3 through 4. Yeah, no, I get it. Like I will do something like that here and there whenever the puppies go live, right? Like whenever puppies go live, and like the little board's the same kind of thing. The problem is that the little board, and it maybe it is better to do it in the like 20 maxes, right? Instead of the 150, because more people are getting weird in the 150 maxes than the 50 maxes than the 20 maxes. And like I got to the poodle finals last year and I did something weird in it. You know, I took Puka at the 101 and like after my first 3 drafts, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a stand on the player I think is the best value in the first round because I was basically 8% in the first round, but I was like, in this specific contest, I want to do that. Now, with that being said, like it wasn't like the Bijan and Gibbs were and CMC were overall better picks, but the Puka pick was the best receiver pick. So, but I ended up getting a weird team through to the finals, and I was very live to win it because I had a unique team. So Jade Daniels doesn't fall back to me. Yeah, and like I think a 20 entry max, if you want to be like, hey, I want to make a stand on this guy, makes sense. It's going to be the same thing if we can get the 60 likes, which we're not going to, obviously, based on what's going on. Brian Thomas gets pulled way up, and they take Caleb. So they're planning on getting. All right. Don't want Evans. I don't really want Sutton. Question here. Do I want to push quarterback again? Or do I want to bring somebody up? Like, I think quarterback kind of got destroyed last time. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to take Ricky Pearsall with Evans. I've done this a bunch, Ricky Pearsall with Evans, but I've not done it with those 2 running backs for sure. This gives me another out. Like, this gives me 2 outs at quarterback here, so I should be able to get at least one of them. And if Laporta falls back here, and he does sometimes, I'll just take Laporta Goff. Like, I'm perfectly fine having Jahmyr Gibbs, Laporta Goff. Like, that would feel really, really good. Mike Robb asking the real questions here. Hey, Game Type, what strain you smoking? Because that stuff must be fire. You got Trey McBride, Bowers, Allen, Jackson, Waddle, Harrison, Tootin. I'm expecting you to go what 279, 2792. I think that. Do I want the Trey McBride, Brock Bowers thing? Probably not. Not often. Like, I didn't mind it last year a little bit because you could get it in round 2, 3. Right? Like, you didn't have to give up your first round pick to do it. Every once in a while, McBride would fall back. And, like, in that same draft, Bowers would fall to, like, pick 18. And then McBride would fall back around. Like, every once in a while, you could get that. There's the answer. Yeah, like, That's something I'm going to do this year. Is I'm going in a lot of the 20 max style contests. I'm going to do a theme, right? Like, hey, like instead of making major stands in my overall account for like puppies and stuff like that, like kind of be more balanced. Like not have stands, but be very aggressive with stands in all of the side contests, right? So like the palm, if I think that Scadaboo's overpriced, like taking 0, right? But like sprinkling them in, and I highly doubt that will happen. But it's a it's a thought experiment. But like I mean, taking the 0 is whatever. But basically, like Tucker Craft here, I think Tucker Craft's the most mispriced player on the board. I've said it several times. I have a reasonable amount of them. So Laporta does go there, which means that I probably. What do we want to do here? I think I definitely want Brock Purdy, or not. So I think I'm gonna take DJ Moore here. DJ Moore probably lands on a better situation. Baker is still on the board. It's way too early for Baker, though. Do I want to just stack Goff? Do I want to just take a tight end here? I think I'm just going to take Jared Goff with Gibbs here. We're going to see some Goff Gibbs stacks, but not just Goff Gibbs. This is going to force me to overdraft Isaac Tesla, who I haven't selected yet. I'm having a hard time taking Tesla. Well, there it goes. The AI outro is Belit. Number one, it's not AI. I made it. Jamie Pirog made the music. I made the clips. Or I set it up. And then we're actually getting ready to put out a line of rookie videos that are like that. But they're not going to have like words. It's just going to be music. And then I'm going to have a bunch of clips. I've showed a couple of them on stream. But I'm going to put them out as videos here starting next week. I appreciate it. I'm like brand new to editing, so it feels good to hear that people enjoy it. And I've got a bunch of positivity for the outro, which is funny because it's the same thing that my intro is. Like my intro is the outro. It's actually supposed to be my intro. And people tend to say the outro is good, like that it's clearer for them than the intro is. And I wonder if it's because I select it individually from the video file for the intro or not. Yep. I missed it. So I'm really glad I took Jared Goff. Very, very glad I took Jared Goff. Do I want... Man, I have so much Jaden Reed. I was really hoping that Baker could make it back around. We're going to take Shuck here, I think, to get a second usable quarterback. I don't think, like, nobody's talking about, like, Breece Hall going to the Saints. I don't think it happens, but it is a spot that it could happen. very, very unlikely. But if everybody thinks the Saints should take Jeremiah Love because of Kamara being old, why is nobody saying that maybe they sign a free agent? Because those same people, I assume, are not fans of the one guy. Yeah, we're gonna add Emmett Johnson because that's what we do here on the Who Hames Network. And by the way, we are still 10 likes away from the next draft, which would be a war room. No longer. Yep, got to step up your game, tight. Like, not all heroes wear capes. And Viking 88 there. He's definitely wearing a cape and probably no pants. Definitely wearing a cape. Pants, not so sure. Yeah, I look at this. Jake Ferguson going at ADP, not at pick 43. Yeah. He's standing in front of the mirror with a cape on and some Spider-Man underwear. Because he's confused that Spider-Man doesn't actually wear a cape. But he wants Spider-Man to wear a cape. So he's going to be the Spider-Man with a cape. You're all welcome for this excellent football this excellent football content. So yeah, I'm having like, man, I like Tyler Shuck, but it feels really bad taking him in round 10. And you kind of have to. And I've been in so many situations where I basically take him for multiple reasons. Now on this team specifically, if I don't get Juwan Johnson, I'm just going to have naked Tyler Shuck. I have too much Devon Bailey because I've done this a couple times. So if I don't get Juwan, we're just calling it. I'm perfectly fine with Hunter Henry, but Juwan Johnson was the target there. Like I'm done at running back. We have Gibbs, we have Breece Hall, we have Bucky Irving, and we have Emmett Johnson. I might add a very last round guy just because it's I'm curious. Like, I wonder if DJ Moore could be going to Vegas. All right, so let's look at these two positions. I'm not getting a lot of Mark Andrews, but we'll go ahead and take Mark Andrews here. I think he makes a lot of sense there. I know I sniped you on your fourth tight end game tight. I know you wanted to finish out with McBride, Bowers, Pitts, and Mark Andrews. So I do apologize, but I need Mark Andrews myself. So we're taking him. If I remember correctly, last season on Drafters, only one of the top 20 teams drafted the player other than running back or wide receiver in first 4 rounds. Well, so on Drafters, it is a different contest. But the guy I had on the other day, Lutz, was the guy who had Trey McBride in the top 10 of the Drafters made. And like he finished 9th, and he was actually 2nd. Yeah, and like it's more about what actually happened. Like, you can't just purely look at what happened, right? Like Trey McBride, like we'll just use this sheet real quick. Like Trey McBride averaged two full points higher than the next guy, and 2.5 basically, or like of the guys who were healthy the whole season, he's basically almost 4 full points ahead, right? Right, like his 15 games, Like Bowers wasn't healthy, still got 12 a game. And like there's a lot more to it than just that because like spikes matter way more. But McBride was very consistent and he had spikes. And then you go to the other positions like running back. A lot of these guys up top are higher than the guys later, but it was easier to find a high point total there. And they spiked even more. So like I do agree that it's not as good of a pick, but I don't think it's something you want 0 of. Yeah, exactly. Well, what's funny is JT wasn't even what you needed at the end, right? Achan had just as good of a season in the second round when it was all said and done. What quarterbacks are left? We're going to go ahead and take Theo here, I think. We can be done there if we want. I don't have like any Jacoby Brissett. This could be a Brissett team if the one hole doesn't take him. I don't have any Arizona. I kind of think he plays in Arizona, but do I have any other options? Not really. Do I want? Yeah, we'll take him. That feels fine. It is way above ADP, but he might not make it back because of positional value and all that. Early tight end is bad. Doesn't even matter how good McBride or Bowers are. 4%. It was good with Gronk and Kelsey because they were only elite ones, and everyone else was garbage. Yeah, and this is another good point. And on Drafter specifically, it is a much worse thing than it is on Underdog. On Underdog, you specifically like it's all about spike weeks, and if the elite tight ends get the spikes at the right time, you needed them, right? Like Kyle Pitts wasn't an elite tight end, but guess what? You kind of needed him, right? You could get through pods without him, right? But you didn't. You felt much better than you didn't, and he was. And as Peppertone says, you give up too much, it can work, but you have to walk a fine line. Good if you can advance, but yeah, oh yeah, and I mean that's always been the thing with the elite tight end is it is supposed to be harder to advance. Like it's basically been that way the whole time. McBride put up a Kelsey-like season last year. And because other second-round picks smashed super hard, it didn't really matter to the extent that the Kelsey stuff used to matter. And Kelsey was like, I don't remember how many points he was putting up a season. Like, I wanted to say it was like an insane number. Like, I'm looking it up right now. Like, I wanted to say it was like 16 points a game one season or something. So, where are we at in the draft? I'll flip over to that page after I've made my 2 picks. So, Torrey Horton's a guy I want to get a bag of for sure. I think he's underpriced. Trey Harris is a guy I need to pick more of. Keon Coleman's a guy I need to mix in. Trey Tucker's a good pick that I don't get much of. We're going to take Horton. And then we're going to take, we'll take Trey Harris. We'll just do that. And then we will go over here to Player Profiler, go to Season Stats, fantasy points per game. Yeah, so he literally had 20 points per game. 18, 15, 20, 16, 18, right? Trey McBride had 14.6. Like, if a tight end puts up 20 points a game, it is absolutely something worth in the first round. but we need them to get that much. Like, we need them to get to 16, really, right? For it to really feel like it's worth it. Whenever the next tight end is 12.5, right? If the next tight end is 12.5 and you put up 14.6, it is a pretty big gap, but it's not the same as it was back here where Kelsey was at 20.9. I don't know what the what tight end 2 was that week or that year, but I'm assuming it wasn't over 16, right? Yeah, I agree with this as well. Double elite tight ends feel like a death sentence. It doesn't mean I don't want one version of that in my 1,000 teams, right? But I definitely don't want to do it much. I think the takeaway is that drafting non-wide receiver running back leaves your roster behind. Oh no, you're right. Like that's why I'm also saying that, like, you're not allowed. You can't draft over here on Underdog. You can only draft on Drafters, and for Drafters, that thinking is absolutely correct. Now, it's also something you probably don't want zero of, because in the case of the Kelsey season, you're dead, right? And there in those cases, as Peppertoni pointed out earlier, there were less yeah, we'll take a branch share here. And I think I'll take it. Do I want a 5th running back? I think I take another 5th running back. We're just going to take a Devin Neal share here, because we have Shuck, and we're pretty good at every position. We're going to take another wide receiver to finish this draft out. So it doesn't look like we're going to get to the 35 likes for the War Room. So kind of sucks. But I'm kind of feeling like drafting some more. I might just head over to Drafters and do one on Drafters, because I ain't got anything to do tonight. So if we get to the 30 likes, which I'm sure we will, I'll jump over and do a Drafters one. McBride set the tight end records this year, and Arizona was throwing the ball 40% of the time. Production will come down. I'm mostly out on his price this year. Same. And like, I wasn't out on either one of them, and it hurt me. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it is a different. So Drafters and Underdog are different games as well. Like on Underdog, you have to have the spike weeks, but you also need to be in the world or the universe that the elite tight ends are what spiked for it to matter. And with that, like, they have to also be the only thing that spiked in that area, right? Because if Trey McBride spiked for 31 points and Jonathan Taylor, who goes next to him, spiked for 29 points, you're still kind of behind, depending on what the value over replacement is, right? All right, so we're at 32 likes. Looks like we'll be doing a Drafters draft next. I will review these teams, but we're going to go ahead and jump into the lobby on Drafters. We are waiting on 6 over here on Drafters. So if you want to jump in the Drafters draft, go ahead. We will review these teams. I mean, it's just me and Game Tight, but these Drafters lobbies take a bit to fill, so we're already in. All right, so we got Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Pearsall. Yeah, definitely need a receiver. Oh, I forgot to take Tesla. Whoops. He just, like, I definitely need to go back and like redo my rankings so I can remember to take Tesla. This kind of feels like a Ted Hurst team. let's take Ted Hurst here. Yeah, so by the end of this, yeah, well, that was for the end of this, for the bigger board. Like, I did say that if I do another one afterwards, the number becomes 60. So, but here we are. We have a 3-5-9-3. We have Jared Goff, Tyler Shuck, Jacoby Brissett. Running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Bucky Irving, Emmett Johnson, Devin Neal. Wide receivers, Flowers, McLaurin, Evans, Pearsall, DJ Moore, Torrey Horton, Trey Harris, Zachariah Branch, Ted Hurst. Tight ends, Juwan Johnson, Mark Andrews, and Theo Johnson. We don't have much stacked here. Kind of forgot, like we got sidetracked, talk about tight ends, forgot about Tesla. So there is that. Now we'll go over Game Tights team, and we are waiting on 2 in the lobby over there. He probably doesn't want me to go over this team, but Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Bashaw Tootin, Algier, Woody Marks, Brooks, Caleb Johnson, Rashard Smith. That does feel thin. I'm assuming Kyle Pitts would have been another running back, which would have made this feel a lot better. Jalen Waddle, Harrison, Higgins, Concepcion, Surratt, Josh Downs, Omar Cooper, Rashad Bateman, and the double stack there with Walker, McBride, Bowers, and Pitts. Obviously, this team has issues, but I do think that and I wouldn't do it, but I do think if Kyle Pitts was another running back, that this team feels way closer to a real team. It feels kind of lacking at this point. But I think that Game Tight would agree with that. So we are waiting on 1 over here, and we're going to go ahead and put that in the timestamp. So, all right, we are good. Timestamp of 137. All right, so we got the 110. We have Alex at the 102, 2 Mules at the 8, Game Tight at the 11. Cutie Patootie was in here chatting the other day, so, and they were saying that to let them know if I'm streaming one of their things. Oh, we got the taco guy. Gotta love Behave. Get Mask and a taco. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? And by the way, they were also complaining about never getting 101s. So congratulations to getting a 101 pick there, Cutie. It does feel really bad whenever it feels much better to be stuck at the front end than it does to never get it. Like being stuck at the front end, it's kind of like, okay, I'm okay with this, but it would be nice to occasionally pick at the other side. Not ever getting there and never having a chance with those players doesn't feel good, for sure. But yeah, so I will say, I will change it up. If we get to 50 likes by the end of this draft, we could do a big board, or a bigger board. So if we get to 50, we'll do a bigger. I know I said I'll split the difference because I said 40 at the end of the last draft for a bigger, and I said 50 or 60 at the end of this one. But I think another 16 likes with as few people we have watching, I think it makes sense to cut the middle and go to 50. My steak is too juicy. My lobster is too buttery. Is what the type. So, I've tried lobster once. I hated it. I've never been less impressed with food than whenever I tried lobster. I don't know what it was. It was like the consistency wasn't for me. Uh, I'm sure that's a hot take, but yeah, the consistency wasn't exactly what I wanted. We're gonna go ahead and take HN here. I I'm going to do it at some point. I'm going to do a deep dive on CD Lamb, like the whole CD Lamb, George Pickens, Puka, Devontae Adams, Amon Ra, JMO conversation, right? Like what, and Chase and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Like, why are some of the twos valued way less and feel less scary, kind of thing? Let's go Drake London. The bigger, the better. Oh, that's a fantastic experience. Yeah, I'm not much for sauces anyway, so that's where I'm at. And like the consistency of the lobster to me doesn't go with butter. Uh, but call me crazy. So I did try so I was actually on a business trip. They flew me out. I actually got flown to Reno. Like I volunteered to work 84 hours a week for 2 weeks. I got flown out to Reno, private jet, all that. I had I got a per diem of $50 a night for food. So decided that we would use that experience to try lobster. And I'm very glad I didn't spend my own money to try lobster. So at least I basically got to test it for free. The way I look at it. So that's like, I was like, nope. Anybody want this? Anybody can have this. I tried it. I went back to it a little later in the meal. Felt the same. But yeah. All right, we got a start here. Cutie at the 101. You got Bijan, Kenneth Walker, Brees Hall. I kind of wonder if those two don't move up a little bit. Like, it is a full PPR site, so Derrick Henry dropping makes some sense. That feels a little much. With PJ, what do we talk about PJ? I don't know what that means. I mean, it was one time, and it ended up being a bad experience for everyone involved. If we're talking about the one time I got perks from work. Oh, the private jet. Yeah. That was also its own issue. So like, I'm scared to death of flying, number one. But it was like the smoothest flight you could possibly imagine. But I ended up, it's not like guaranteed, but I had like a mild thing going on with my leg before that. And as soon as I landed, like my leg like went all to shit. And I'm fairly positive it was the altitude messing with it. So I will never fly again. So like, yeah, I ended up having surgery like 6 months later on my leg because of like, I'm not saying it was the altitude, but it definitely seemed it was a mild issue and it turned into a big issue after the flight. So yeah, so I am scared to death of the Eagles situation right now, but I do want some AJ Brown. I don't want all of the AJ Brown. Kyron's still a hard click for me. We're gonna go ahead and take Adams here. I'm kind of surprised that Adams hasn't been slowly moving up now that Stafford has been officially said that he is coming back. Yeah, like it's not a thing that was for sure the thing that happened, but if you just follow the timeline, the likelihood of it being the altitude was pretty high. It is kind of sad that and it's a good that drafters finally fixed the Cam Scatabo ADP. I got a couple teams of him in the 60s. I didn't even notice it was a thing in one of the draft. My second draft that I done, like he went completely undrafted. Nobody got him. Because I wasn't paying attention. I was screwing around listening to a podcast at the time that I was drafting. And I was just kind of clicking whoever's at the top of the ADP, like a lot of people do. Nothing wrong with it. But I completely no-sold it. Sucked. Like, sucks going back and looking at it and be like, Scatterbo undrafted? Wild. Hey, I'm not sure if the one hole needs to hear this, but you 4 running back starts. I actually like it. I kind of did something similar the last time. I don't know about the 4. Like I've definitely done the 4 in a row, and I've seen them draft. I'm sure that they're going to be either stop there or take one very late. Yeah, so I'm on Z Road, bro. Says Cutie. I'm assuming you are listening. You could always type in the chat. I don't know. Maybe I have subscriber only on and you can't type in the chat right now. I don't know. I'm going to guess that's probably it. We might see my first Javonte Williams share, which I'm not like. I'm having a harder time. I'm kind of having a hard time with him as well. I'm going to guess that they pass on Javonte and I do get it. And if I don't get it, I'm perfectly fine going Rome into Caleb as well. So I do get Javonte Williams there. So through 5 rounds here, we have Devon Achane, Drake London, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, and Javonte Williams. Question is do I want to, like, I'm definitely going to try to push A.J. Brown all the way across, or Jalen Hurts all the way back. Mekhi Lemon here makes some sense. Jaden Daniels makes some sense. Parker Washington has a pretty high ADP here. Ramondre also makes some sense. I'm actually just going to take Ramondre. We're going to go with Devon Achane and then, like, Javonte Williams and Stevenson are probably better picks than we want to admit. And the people who love Achane probably don't like these two players as much as well. It'll be fun at the end of the draft to check out the running back and wide receiver room with the rosters in the 4 and 11 spots. What's going on at the 4? Oh, at the elite tight ends? We can. And, like, so I'm not somebody who's, like, opposed to elite tight end. I do think it's less likely to be optimal on drafters, but I also believe that, like, it's not a horrible strategy. And if you think it's a bad strategy, you're just generally going to not like every team you look at that has it, right? Like, if I think that double elite quarterback is a bad strategy, when I look at a double elite quarterback team, I'm not going to like it. I done a couple double elite quarterbacks, but I don't I didn't like it last year. This year, I think it's closer to okay because the quarterbacks go a little later, like the middle ones do. I'm going to talk to them real quick. But yeah, like they are not happy with their team. I was wondering, I'm not a big Harvey fan. I like the fourth in a row makes it kind of hard. For sure. Like you can't like I do think that that's something that's more feasible on Underdog. Is it official? I knew that they had already told him he was going to be released, but it wasn't official yet. Do we want to? So Hertz does go. I think we're just going to take Lawrence, and if Myers makes it back around, we take him, and if not, we just take Britton Strange at 130 if he's there. And if we have naked Trevor Lawrence, we have naked Trevor Lawrence. I kind of feel like Dobbins is going to come back to Denver. Yes, no, that is an absolute fact. So we do get Myers to wrap back around. That feels pretty good. So on this, they're PPR Tyler was saying a week ago that they had already agreed. They just hadn't announced it yet. Like behind closed doors, they had already told them that they were going to release him. So that doesn't surprise me. That's one reason I've been taking Penix. I have a lot of Penix, man. But yeah, we have onto this comment here. So J.K. Dobbins has, and I'm sure that Suss knows, but J.K. Dobbins has said that he would like to come back to Denver. And the Coach Speak Index had a quote on Sean Payton talking about him, something about how their offense worked better when he was on the team. Let me find it real quick. On whether the Broncos have enough playmaking ability at receiver and running back, we'll do a deep dive on our young players. This is from the GM. I like our young players and receivers, but we're always looking to add and improve at every position. I like the young backs we have. J.K. Dobbins was a big hit here. That was a big loss for our team. This came the day after J.K. Dobbins said he would like to come back. So the GM liked him, and he said he wanted to come back. And yeah, the running back efficiency stuff was very in favor of Dobbins, if you go back and you look at it as well. So I've actually been taking a chunk of Dobbins as well, because he's at 150 right now. If he goes back to Denver, he should be going right around this pick here, right? So what quarterbacks are left here? Stafford did go. I would have taken Stafford. Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Matt Stafford. Somebody likes quarterbacks. I've been saying I want some Jennings, and I can't get too much Jennings. We're just gonna do it here. This is actually a pretty different team from what I usually draft. I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna take Britton Strange here to get the stack, assuming that Game Tight doesn't take him, and Game Tight has Laporta and McBride. I doubt they do, so I should be good to take him here. We're still 12 likes away. At 12 more likes, and I mean, we got 24 watching. I'm sure you've all already liked the video, but 12 drafts, 12 more likes, and we go to a bigger board. Oh yeah, well, he looked bad in college at breaking tackles. He's shifty. Like if he can make them miss, he's got some speed. But as you're saying, he wasn't as elusive as he graded out in college. And he also didn't have high competition in college, right? For the most part, if I remember, and let me make sure that that's correct. I think he went to like UCF or something, right? I'm looking it up at the moment. I believe he was a UCF guy. RJ Harvey College. Yeah, he was UCF. So, like, he had some games against good competition, but not a bunch of games versus good competition. And yeah, I think that Harvey generally is a pretty bad pick at ADP right now. And whatever running back they bring in is an absolute smash. Whether it be Najee or Tyler Algier, or if they just bring Dobbins back, which I think is most likely. If they bring in like Gainwell, like absolute death to RJ Harvey. David Montgomery, like if he ends up getting cut like some suspect, and he ends up in Sean Payton's offense, like absolute wheels up. Like David Montgomery to the Broncos, I'm taking David Montgomery in round 7, like easily. Like I'm absolutely taking him above, like at or above Ramondre. So let's see how. So QD's team is kind of coming around a little bit. They got a little scared at Tyler Shuck, but you can backstack Shuck. Juwan Johnson is my favorite Shuck stack anyway. I like Olave a lot, but Juwan is the favorite, and Vele is a solid pick as well. But yeah, they're getting back on the wide receivers. I'm assuming they just go 3 late tight end. My team right now feels pretty good. I'm pretty balanced. We have Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. We have Achane, Stevenson, and Javonte Williams. Wide receiver, Drake London, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, for Jawan Jennings, and the double stack with Jacoby with Brenton Strange. This is a Travis Hunter team, though. Assuming, where's Hunter go here? Travis Hunter goes at 149. Do I want to push him all the way around, or do I want to? What do I want to do with that? I mean, if Emmett Johnson's here, we just take Emmett Johnson. Like, easily. That is the easiest pick on the board for me. If Johnson's there. And if he's not, we might just take J.K. Dobbins since we've been talking about it. All right, Emmett Johnson. Come on down. You are the next contestant. I'm going to end up with way too much Emmett Johnson, I think. Game Tight takes Malik Willis there as a second quarterback. I'm going to push quarterback again, I think. We do kind of have some values, though. Like, Darnold is kind of a value. But if the room's going to let quarterback fall, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Dobbins here. Like the J.K. Dobbins price is one reason I've got, like, there's two reasons I'm a little lower on Tajay Spears, and we've discussed this before. But first reason is because I kind of like the other players around them a little better. And number two, I just think that they're going to bring in a running back this year with one of their earlier picks. Like, I think in the early third round, they're going to bring somebody in. This coaching staff is brand new. They owe nothing to Tajay Spears or Tony Pollard. I think Tajay is awesome when he's healthy. Like, awesome when he's healthy. But it is the last year of his rookie deal, if I remember right. And it's also the last year of Tony Pollard's deal, which means it's very, very likely that this team looks to bring in a rookie to, like, ease in throughout the season to play for next year, right? I'm not saying that I think that this is a good landing spot for a rookie, but I think that Tony Pollard will kind of prove to the coaches that he deserves a role. Their offensive line did improve near the end of the year. I know they lost Zeitler. He's a free agent. But continuity is a big part of offensive line, and I think they're keeping several other pieces. So I think that Pollard will end up getting his chance. And I think if they get a rookie in, that Spears is the one that's going to suffer. And I could be wrong. Like, that's something I know I could be wrong on, so I'm not going to have zero Spears. Like, Spears is one of those guys, though, that if they don't do something post-draft, I think he's an absolute screaming value. I'm just a little worried that based on the draft picks they have and the holes they have on their team and stuff, I think that they're very likely to take, like, Jadarian Price in the second, or Emmett Johnson or Jonah Coleman in the third, or something like that, with one of the first picks in those rounds. I don't think Emmett Johnson's going to be available then, and it would be the absolute worst landing spot for Emmett Johnson for this year. For Dynasty, it's probably a pretty okay landing spot, but for this year specifically, it's a pretty bad landing spot. All right, so we still just have the one quarterback. I think I'm fine with either one of these guys, Cam Ward or I'm also fine with Daniel Jones. I don't know if I've selected much Daniel Jones, but definitely fine with one of them. I feel pretty good about my running backs here. We have Achane, Javonte, Ramondre, Emmett Johnson, and J.K. Dobbins. We're going to just take the dip on Bryce Young. I think. Do we want the dip or do we want Cam Ward with the back sack options? We're going to take Ward with the back sack options, actually. Because we could take DK right here. We have Iomanor later. If DK goes, we could take Tyreek. So Game Type pulls Isaac Tesla up to 155. What's his ADP here? $20 picks above ADP, but not guaranteed to make it back. So we do get DK back around the corner. So we still have one tight end. Hopefully, like, I'm not going to try to hide it. I want Michael Penix on the way back. We do have Drake London. With that news, he's just going to go up boards. So I'll take him at 178 if he's there. If he's not there, we'll figure out quarterback 3. And then with the other pick, we probably want to look at tight end. And this is the kind of team we have. Strange. Like, I'm pretty open to anybody at this point at tight end. I know I've stacked a whole bunch of Gunnar Helm with Cam Ward. I do plan on doing that again. I don't plan on slowing that down. I think Gunnar Helm is one of the best picks on the board right now, regardless of having Cam Ward or not. So if you're new to the channel and you do enjoy the content, please smash the sub. We're drafting all the time. We're going to be drafting every Monday through Thursday. Most Saturday nights, like when I start work back, which is next week, again, Sunday and Saturday night, like Saturday nights are iffy. Fridays we take off. Saturdays it's how I feel for the day, and if so, it's more like 7 p.m. Central. But Sunday nights we're gonna go live every Sunday night at like 6:30 p.m. Central, and then every weekday at 4 p.m. Central, unless a guest, unless my guest needs a different time. So we will be doing that. We're also going to be pumping out rookie videos. I'm going to be doing my first mock here pretty soon as well. So I'm going to have all kinds of content coming out for sure. We need some alt account like support. I mean, I'm close. Like I'm four subs away from 400. And then it's just, I need 100 by draft day for the marathon, right? For the 8-hour live stream. And then if we get 1,000 by draft day or by opening day, I'm going to do a 24-hour live stream. So there is that. That is down the line. It's a long way down the line, but it is down the line. We're going to take Penix here. We'll take Braylon if he comes back around. I think Braylon was a really good pick there. Probably a better pick than Penix, honestly. But I'm also having a hard time getting IO Manor, so it'll force me to IO Manor if for the double stack. Hey, all good, man. Yeah, it definitely looks like we're not going to get to the 50 likes for the bigger board. We will definitely get bigger boards in though, Peanut. I know you're waiting. That I already have a plan for what's going to happen. Like I will definitely reward the chat, or if we get to gigantic like goals that I don't really think are feasible, you know, like I'm super cool with doing a higher dollar draft in those situations. But until I definitely need, like, I'm waiting a little bit to do the bigger boards for a reason as well. And like last year, I think the bigger board closed like it was like 5 days after the combine or something, right? Like it was kind of crazy. I'm also excited for next week because next week I actually cleaned up all those rookie videos I showed that one day. I know not everybody liked them, but I showed all those. And I cleaned all of them up. I'm going to put them all out as individual videos starting next week. So because I wanted to wait till after the Super Bowl, as I said earlier. Yeah, it is and isn't, right? I haven't. What's up, How are we doing, Donkey? First time I've seen. I assume this is Donkey from Shrek. I believe he absolutely killed it last year overall in everything. Possibly 2 good years in a row. I haven't seen a picture of his foot. And by the way, Donkey, if you want, you can join the Discord. We got a free Discord. It's a pretty small group. I mean, it was small. It's up to what, 50, almost 60 people now. But it's pretty chill. What is it? 12, 43. So 55 people right now. Kind of share news, stuff like that in there. But you're welcome. So Donkey is one of the players on all the websites that they don't necessarily do everything the way that I like to do them, which is why I like to review what they do, because I know they're a good player and it helps me identify holes in my game. Like, okay, well, Donkey likes this player. I don't like this player. Why don't I like this player? And like, sometimes I go in, I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. Other times I'm like, no, I still agree with why I don't like this player, right? Like, so that's something I do all the time. Damn you, Lutz. Evil, evil Lutz. Taking my helm. But yeah, like that's something I do with all of the successful best ball players. So we're gonna get another Tonjas team. I think he's a pretty good value. What do we want to do with? I think I'm just gonna take another tight end here. I don't get to a lot of Chig, and I do want a chunk of Chig. I understand that he's not on the Titans. I mean, if there's a picture of his foot out there, I will definitely be looking for it here in a few minutes when the stream's over, and I will definitely post it in my Discord, assuming people want to see it. And I'm assuming it doesn't look good. Yeah, like I also think speaking of the bigger board stuff, like the War Room, did the War Room fill before the Combine last year? Because I think it did. I think or like directly after. Maybe that's what it was. It was the War Room that filled right after, and the bigger board took a little longer. But yeah, Britton Strange, Tonjas, and Chig is serviceable. We got our double stack there with Cam Ward. We have Drake London stacked up. We have a double stack with T-Law. I definitely need one more running back. I haven't taken any Isaiah Pacheco. This room could definitely use a rookie. I have Achane, Javonte, Stevenson, Dobbins. Like, Najee's probably a fine pick. He's a fine pick. C-Rod's probably a fine pick. Ray Davis, I don't get to very much. Ollie Gordon, somebody I need to mix in. I think George Holani's a smart pick. I think we're going to get pretty... If we get bad news on Charbonnet later in the offseason, like Holani's going to look like a steal. If this contest closes by the time we get that news, he's going to look like a really good pick. Or he's going to look like a really bad pick if we get positive news, right? So he's a guy I've mixed in a couple times. Pacheco's a free agent. But these are the players I'm looking at, and then I need another wide receiver. I feel like this team is pretty balanced. It could be a Chris Bell team. I don't have a single rookie. Brazil is definitely a spike week kind of guy. Malachi Fields, I haven't taken Fields for a while. Let's take a field share here, assuming he makes it. Yeah, Jordan James is another one I need to start mixing in a little more. I just know for a fact they're going to draft somebody, you know? Like, I feel very, very confident that they draft somebody. We'll just take Big Naj. We'll just add another old guy to this team. An old injured guy. That's what we like at the end of draft. Old and injured. What could go wrong? Like, why is Chase Claypool got a 232 ADP? I've not seen Chase Claypool drafted yet. No idea. No idea why he has 232 ADP. All right, so we're about to go over the teams. All right, we do get Malachi Fields here. So my team, we got a 3-6-8-3. Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, Michael Penix, Achane, Javonte Williams, Ramondre, Emmett Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, Najee. Wide receivers, London, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Jawan Jennings. The double stack here with Io Manor and DK, Malachi Fields, Britton Strange, Jake Tunges, and Chig Okonkwo. So we got a double stack with Cam Ward, and then we got a double stack with Trevor Lawrence with tight end plus Jacoby Myers. And Penix, we just stacked up with the number one option. Very solid team. Nothing to like scream home about, but it's just a solid team. Game tight. Two Mules wanted us to review the two tight end teams. We'll at least do this one. I don't think the other guy is in the chat, so we will not review his. We got a 3-7-8-2. Jared Goff, Malik Willis, Kyler Murray. Running backs, Amarian Hampton, Jadarian Price, Tyler Algier, Alvin Kamara, Caleb Johnson, Brashard Smith, Mike Washington. That feels pretty good. I like taking the onesie and then just taking a couple old guys and a couple rookies, right? Like you just need one more to hit your lineup, maybe two for the flex. Wide receiver, JMO, Ladd, Marv, Brian Thomas. So you took 4 in a row and then you stopped and you took Tesla, Surratt, Trey Harris, and Washington, all upside picks late. You did get the Jared Goff mega stack with JMO, Laporta, and Tesla. This is the Amon-Ra gets injured team with McBride and Laporta. That's a lot of capital at tight end. The team overall looks fine. I do think that the two early tight ends is a little worse in drafters specifically. But I understand taking Laporta to get the stack. It does feel like what running backs were available then? Like there weren't really any running backs available then, right? Tony Pollard is all you missed out on by doing that, but you got the stack. You pulled them way up to get it too. So you did that intentionally. So I don't actually dislike it. His running back room is what you call a hero. It's just a hero RB room, and it's a well-built hero RB. Hampton, you're not in on Hampton though, so you're obviously going to not like it. Or I don't think you're in on Hampton. I'm very in on Hampton. I think Hampton could be one of the best values on the board. And if it is, all he needs is to piece together spike weeks at the back end. Hey, what's up, Gamblestein? So, two Mules team. We got a 3-6-8-3. Bo Nix, Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy. Jeremiah Love, Kyron Williams, Rico Dowdle, Jonathan Brooks. I like taking the Jonathan Brooks there. Dylan Sampson, Keaton Mitchell, Amon-Ra, McMillan, Jordan Tyson, Michael Wilson, Romeo Dobbs, Marvin Mims, Tez Johnson. I definitely need to mix him in. Jalen Royals, I do think is a fine pick this year. Last year, I didn't like it. Tucker Kraft, Juwan Johnson, and Isaiah Likely. This is a really solid team. Not weak at any position. Just built very well. I like that team. We got Donkey in the 6 hole. Was it in the 7 hole? 3-6-8-3. Jackson Dart, Sam Darnold, Bryce Young. Running backs: Christian McCaffrey, Jalen Warren, Tajay Spears, Rashad White. He is in on Joe Mixon. I'm kind of still waiting. I got burnt pretty bad on Mixon last year. I've taken him once. I got him at like 210. Jaden Blue. Wide receiver: Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Wandale, free agent. The free agency on him is interesting. There's a lot of spots that he would not be good and a lot of spots he'd be very good. Chris Godwin, Matthew Golden, and Cooper Kupp. So you're assuming Wandale comes back to the Giants, I assume. And then you got the Cooper Kupp stack there. So you're thin on stacks, but stacks aren't everything. They do matter a lot less on drafters than they do on underdog. We got Lutz over here. We're gonna get to chat real quick. I seen it's been popping. In a big board where the first 2 picks off the board were back to back, Josh Allen's and A-Chain. You should see the draft. Like, I'm gonna post the draft that was in my first draft and of the day, and they started Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson. So tell that guy to up their game. If they pick actual players, yeah, pretty much. Like, it was when the guy took Samson Nakua that it became in question, right? Like, and most of them they do toss by the algo too. Yes, I'm talking 1 and 2. Oh, 2 different people. Okay. Not one person. What's up, Jonathan? How we doing? We got Lutz 3683 from the 3 hole. We got Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud, Kirk Cousins. Kirk being released is actually good news for him. Very good news. Running backs, Travion Henderson. We had a discussion when he was on my channel 2 days ago. He is actually in on Travion, unlike a lot of us. And he did very well last year. So definitely listen. Definitely going to research it a little more. I'm very curious what happens tomorrow with Travion, because he might steam up. He might drop. Bashal Tootin, Chuba, David Montgomery, Tyrone Tracy, and Trey Benson. A lot of the players he discussed on the stream are players he got. Puka, Nico, Rashi, Terry McLaurin, Jalen McMillan, Trey Tucker, Zachariah Branch, his boy, as he said, Devon Bailey, and then Tyler Warren, Colby Parkinson, Gunnar Helm. Very well, very solid, very well built, and a solid team. We have Alex here, and we're going to go to chat again. Yeah. Okay. I'll look at his running back room at the end. I still got 2 more people who are watching to review. And by the way, if you're new, I did say at 50 likes, basically got like 8 more minutes. If you get to 50 likes, I'm going to do a bigger board, assuming we can get it to fill. So it's up to you guys. We got a 3773, Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, Shadur Sanders, running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonah Coleman, James Conner, Aaron Jones, Tank Bigsby, Adam Randall, Ray Davis. All very good picks. Wide receiver stopped at 7. Let's look. George Pickens, Olave, Watson, Parker Washington, Boston, Jaden Reed, Rashad Bateman. I would generally say that's not enough, but like in the 20-round formats. But if you were to do this in the 18-round format, it feels perfectly fine. So it's probably good. And then tight end, Harold Fannin, George Kittle. I like taking Kittle with an elite as a third, right? I like it like a semi-elite, like a Laporta, a Harold Fannin, a Tucker Kraft, like taking the value on Kittle and then adding a third. That's when I like George Kittle right now. So I like how you structured the tight end room. You do have the Shadur stack that you want. Like, this is a very, very well-built team as well. So everybody seems to have built very good teams. I know Two Mules is not a fan of this running back room, but this is what a hero running back room should look like. And he did go with 7 running backs. Like, they understand that they aren't good up top. That's why they went with 7 RBs. And then we got Cutie Patootie, 2-5-10-3. They were obviously, like, in the chat earlier, they said, who let me draft this team? It's trash. So we'll try not to be too hard because they understand. We got a 2-5-10-3, though. Caleb Williams and Tyler Shuck. Bijan Walker, Brees Hall, RJ Harvey were their first 4 picks. And then Nicholas Singleton. That's like the perfect fill for the back of this. If you're going to do this, taking the 5th guy as somebody who, if they were healthy, was going to be drafted a lot higher, I'm not a fan of Singleton, but like it's pretty unmistakable that he'd be drafted at like 130ish if he was healthy. Um, so like taking that swing makes absolute sense in this room. Wide receiver: Luther Burden, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, Concepcion, Travis Hunter, Jerry Jeudy, Torrey Horton, Marquise Brown, free agent, and Chris Brazil. A bunch of players here. Like Jerry Jeudy is kind of a floor play on this team. Everybody else is a ceiling play. And I do think that if you go with the hyper fragile style running back room, taking the very volatile spike week wide receivers other than Evans and Pittman, like you have two kind of floor guys there, and then everything else is just ceiling. Like that's the kind of room that can spike intermittently to give you good scores. And then tight ends: Kenyon Sadiq, who's been falling, but I think that he's getting close to where his ADP should be, and you got him kind of where I think his ADP should be. Travis Kelce and Mason Taylor. I don't like the RJ Harvey pick, but I think that since you made it, every decision after that was good. So I think it's a solid team. It's definitely a team that I'll draft a couple like this, and I'll say the same thing. I don't love it, but I do think that you kind of want all the different styles in your portfolio. Well, we're at 44 likes. We did not get to 50. So I'm going to go through chat. I did not say that, sir. But I don't know. I did say bigger board at 50. I've been live 2.5 hours already. So I wouldn't mind. Hey, thank you, Saul. I mean, how many people would do a war room if I pop it right now? If I do a war room, I'm not going to do a bigger board afterwards. Put in the chat how many would be willing to do a war room. If we can get enough to basically fill one, so I don't have to wait around, I could do one. I do need to get a second one in. It's almost 50% filled. Cutie Patootie is a riot. I remember them. So Gamble says Gibbs, Brees, Scadaboo, Tootin, London, Wandale so far through 6. That feels really good. Yeah, you got London back with Gibbs. That seems fun. All right. Well, we did get the 45. That you guys, look. This is what I'm gonna do. And I didn't get a single sub this entire stream. I was at 396 when I started. If I can get 2 or 3 subs, I will do the war room. Because I didn't say that I'm still committed to the bigger board. But if in the next minute, if the next 2 minutes I can get a couple subs, I will run the war room. If I don't, I'm going to go ahead and call it. But if we get to 50, I still will commit to the bigger board. So we'll while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a peek of one of the videos that are going to come out. We're going to show you the Jadarian Price video that I made. And we need 2 more likes. But after this is the amount of time you have to give me to 50 likes. 1:34. Here you go. guess what? We hit it. We are there. We are going to enter the bigger board right now. It is 5 more to start. I'm going to go ahead and run the clip of the countdown, but I'm already in it. But here we go. 5 more to start for a bigger board.
Bestball Degens, we never leave the line. Fury, endless, X, relentless, fantasy, range, who wins, immortal.
All right, gonna put in the timestamp here. Sorry about that. A little bit of quiet there. By the way, we were at 49 likes sitting there. I did bring it up on my phone, and I was going to be the last like if I had to. I need to do a bigger board anyway, so and this will help me like diversify some of the stuff because thanks on the so the music was done by a buddy of mine, and he's been sending me a bunch of songs. I have a bunch of videos made on a bunch of like we have different styles of music in a bunch of them. We have like yeah, we it's definitely going to be a good time. I've at least enjoyed making them. I hope that they're good content. I advanced 2. I got 1 to the second round, and it had Derek Carr on it. It had Derek Carr, Cam Ward. Cam Ward was the only healthy guy. I'm gonna post in. I haven't posted in the Dog Pound for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and post in the Dog Pound for this. Where is the dog? There it is. Nope, that's not it. Unless anybody else has already posted in the Dog Pound. Did it? I guess it disappeared. Where in the world is it? If somebody wants to post in the in Dog Pound, that'd be fantastic. I don't know why it's removed from my bar. All right. We are in. We got Cade at the 101. We got the 102. We have, I believe I may watch. We have Game Tight at the 108. Dirty P at the 111. Peanut Punch, who had been asking for 3 hours. He gets into at the 10. I'm going to put the background music on. I'm going to rest my voice for a minute. I've been talking by myself for a while. Hey, it's all good, man. I appreciate you listening and helping me out with the watch hours and stuff. I would if I drank. All right. Jahmyr Gibbs is my 102. I've said it a bunch. I believe it. I'm going to go basically straight off my ranks on this one. I don't have ranks. I have them in my head, right? But yeah, we're here. We're doing a bigger board. I wasn't expecting to be live for three to 3.5 hours today, but you know what? We're doing it. That's what we're doing. And hey, look at that. I even got subs. We cracked 400 subs. I'm super excited. Got to 400 subs on this stream. That's 5 subs. That is awesome. Thank you all. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. Hopefully you continue to enjoy the content down the line as well. I mean, I'm not going to have, I've heard this from a couple people. I'm definitely Bijan 101, but I was also Bijan over I was Bijan over Gibbs last year. My rankings was like, and it was by a lot. My rankings last year was, and not that it was right, but it was Chase and then Bijan, and then it was who was it next? It wasn't Gibbs next. I had one of the wide receivers next. Not Puka, not. I think I did eventually move Gibbs up there by the end. Like my rankings were all over the place. Like the more it started with Jefferson at 3 at this point in the season, and the more negative news we got on JJ McCarthy and like possibly things being weird, like I kept moving him down. So like that was a bad take at this point last year. Peanut there at the 110, Ashton Genty plus Justin Jefferson. That's a start I would love to have in a bigger board, for sure. Like I think that's a really good start. Dirty over there at the 11 spot takes James Cook and Omarion Hampton. That might I'm not sure. I think I like CeeDee Lamb slightly over James Cook, but it's close. I'm just going to kind of mix those in. I'm one of the guys that I have Hampton rated at the 1-2 turn. I know it's not that popular, but that's one of the little stands I'm going to make. I'll probably try to have like 12 to 13% Hampton, not overboard. I definitely want more than the field. I'm pretty in on Barkley this year overall. I am worried about the Landon Dickerson stuff, though. That absolutely has me worried. I think Chase Brown is a really, really good pick right now as well. So if Chase Brown is here, I'm going to take Chase Brown because I like all three of these wide receivers I like all those wide receivers pretty close to the same. And I do think that like Breece Hall could be where Chase Brown is, but it is going to require a good landing spot, right? Where, let's see what happens. All right, so he takes George Pickens, so I am allowed to do this, and I get one of these 3 wide receivers, so I'm perfectly fine with this. Whatever one falls is the one I take. If multiple fall, like I'm not incredibly in on Rashee Rice. I am worried on Rashee Rice. But we're gonna go ahead and do it. I need it on a bigger board at some point. It's either an awesome pick or a bad pick. I mean, he was at this ADP last year and he smashed. I mean, he didn't smash, but he was good, right? I'm fading all gamble takes. Run away. Rather take a shot on free agent, Bucky. Yeah, no, I fully understand that. And I think here pretty soon, like when free agency hits, we're gonna number one. I'm curious to see how big the contract extension they give Chase Brown is, because they're in talks already. If he gets Kyron type money or more, like I think you have to respect that they think he is more of a bell cow. Now they used P Ryan a lot, but they also brought Chase Brown in around the goal line a bunch, right? Like, or it felt like that. I would have to go research in Fantasy Points Lab to make sure that is correct. But it really felt like when it came to touchdowns, for the most part, Chase Brown was the one that was kind of in there in those situations. But one reason I don't hate the Rice price here. Number one, I didn't want to take 3 straight running backs again. But number two, like I kind of like the Mahomes price. I'm not saying I'm going to get him at 95, but if you get him at 95, I think the Rice price is worth the gamble. And if I don't. It's all good. Juwan Jennings for president, says Gamblestein. I actually prefer Jaden Reed in that range, but I think there's like 5 really, really strong wide receiver picks at that area. So it's going to come back to like all these picks I'm like not super in on. Man, really just all of the picks that I'm low on are around this corner. Like, I'm still having a hard time believing that Luther Burden needs to be 7 picks ahead of Roma Dunze. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not taking him, but I do prefer the other guys. The separation stuff does scare me on Egbuka. I'm pretty in on Christian Watson. I'm also pretty in on Judkins. So let's go ahead and take Judkins here. To give us Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown, and Judkins. Like, I feel very, very strong there. And then Rashee Rice and McLaurin. I know that Jaden Daniels isn't going to make it back. Leg up has already ruined that ADP. But if he does, we're absolutely cooking. And if he doesn't, we get to try to push Mahomes. I feel like the Bears receivers ADPs aren't sustainable as a collective. If DJ Moore stays there, that is correct. I'm T-Mac over Ladd. I could be wrong. I had them back to back. I think I had T-Mac over Ladd before the signing, before the Mike McDaniel signing, and now I basically have them together. I've moved both of them to be fully transparent. I've moved both of them over AJ Brown with the stuff going on there. Like, if AJ Brown ends up on the Ravens, it's fantastic for the Ravens, right? It's not fantastic for AJ Brown's ADP and his ability. Like, maybe they use him as a red zone threat, which they've never used a wide receiver because he's got the build of a tight end, and Lamar trusts the bigger guys in the red zone. Maybe it's an absolute fit. I'm not going to fade it. I'll tell you that I'm not going to fade it, but I do question it a little bit, and it does make me worry about Zay a little bit. I was pretty bullish on Zay, but the rumors of that happening does have me a little worried on the Zay Flowers price, and we've been seeing Zay kind of slip here and there since those rumors. What up, G-Temp? Welcome. I think you found the stream last year, but I can't remember for sure. I hadn't seen you in here for a while. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for watching. We're doing a bigger board right now, and we're going to be done after this because this is my 4th or 5th draft, I think. We've been cooking today, though. I will say, if you want some pure entertainment, I'm going to post a team that somebody drafted in my first draft of the night on X later. It was an absolute banger, let me tell you. Thought leader, absolute thought leader. You do not want to see this guy in your room. He will absolutely destroy you. I'm very in on Mike Evans, no matter where he goes. You've seen me take Evans over here a bunch today. I just, like, on the bigger board, I'm going to do more on my stands. And I think that those 2 players should be ahead of Michael Wilson. That's just a take I have. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And now I have, if I have to take Baker, I have to take Baker. But we have the Mahomes out. We have the Baker out if we need it. We have the Brock Purdy out. And if we really have to, if Laporta makes it back, we can do the Jared Goff, Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs thing. Hey, well, I appreciate you popping in. Hope you enjoy the content. I'm not the best ball player, but I do really enjoy it, and I try to think through things. And that's one thing I do on my stream is like, if I see something that isn't right, like I look into it. If somebody tells me I'm stupid, I look into it. It's not like you're wrong. It's like maybe, maybe I am dumb, uh, because I mean I can improve for sure, and I love the game. I think I'm decent at it, but it's a thought exercise. Man, Gamble, you need to be in my room, sir. Uh, uh, but yeah, yeah. And by the way, for those who don't know, I started a new show, kind of sort of like Peach Bash, but it's called Who's Crew. I got a Discord. All the people who were very active in the live chat during the games throughout the off season, we're going to meet them individually. Once we're through most of those guys, we're going to just start taking the most active members of the Discord, and we're going to once a week we're going to have people on from the Discord on the channel. So we're going to do at least like a big board or whatever. Whenever it gets to the off season, it'll probably be puppies. I'm not a huge fan of the structure of BBM, so we don't do as many BBMs over here. So it'll be more like do 2 puppies or something at that point. But the Discord link is in the description of the video. If you want to join the Discord, it is free. Just there's some like little things I try to do. I need to get better at figuring out how to let other people post in certain channels. Like I try to keep the news channel, specifically news, stuff like that. So we do end up getting Laporta back, but we also have Purdy here. I don't have enough Brock Purdy. So we're actually going to take Purdy here. Because if I don't have enough of a player that I do like their ADP on, like taking a share of them at $100 makes sense. Lock in DP. What are we talking about for what kind of DP we locking in here, Peppertoni? Inquiring minds wants to know. Yeah, we're gonna take Laporta as well. So the team through, I think that's 9. We got Brock Purdy, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown, Judkins, wide receivers, Rashee Rice, McLaurin, Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, tight end Sam Laporta. I don't like the 1 of 13, 1 of 16. I have to do a lot of bankroll management because I have a certain amount of money I could spend. Like it's a larger amount than a lot of people, but I also want to do a lot of volume. I love the game. I want to do more volume. And if it's going to take $3,750 to max BBM, and I can max 4 puppies for that price, I'm going to max 4 puppies. I would rather do, 600 drafts to the 150. And like, I also, overall, I prefer the better advance rate structures and the flatter payouts up top. Like the, I did say that I was going to go over the drafters team that I have live for we'll do that after this. So I have a drafters team that's live to get second, maybe first for the playoff thing. And like its structure is 5,000 to first and only 2,000. The puppy structure is 1 of 10, 1 of 10. Not 1 of 13, it's the 25K a pop. Puppies $5 a pop. And puppies 1 of 10, not 1 of 13, 1 of 16. And like, I'm not saying that the BBM structure is bad. It's built that way to give the millions to first. And a lot of people want to play for that. But I don't not want to play for that. I need to do the bankroll management is all. Because I want to do multiple drafts. And I'm not saying it's a bad tournament. I'm just saying it's not a tournament that I want I just don't want a gigantic bag of. I did 25 or 26 teams or something last year. I would be ecstatic with Baker. How dare you? How dare you take Baker? He's just always available for me, isn't he? Jaden's just literally always available. I mean, we're not gonna not take my boy here. We're definitely taking Emmett Johnson. Question is do I want to take Sam Darnold or not? I think I'm gonna push quarterback here. I do kind of feel like I need another. I do definitely want a wide receiver. I'm kind of glad he went. Man, this is kind of ugly. You know, I might just take Darnold here. We're just going to go ahead and do it. We're going to take Sam Darnold. I'm fine with some of the backstacking options you can get with Darnold, whether people like it or not. Yeah, and like Binking a puppy at 100,000 is going to do a lot for my life. Obviously, Binking 2 million would do a lot for my life, but winning $100,000 is like a huge deal for me, right? Even getting like second, winning $20,000 would be a pretty good deal, right? So like that's kind of where I'm at. Well, right, I would rather win. Like obviously, I'd rather win BBM, but whenever it comes to bankroll management stuff, I would prefer to do the puppies is all. So we go ahead and take Darnold here. Like we need multiple tight ends. I don't mind Barner's price. He's also a guy I haven't gotten as much as I would like to of. Like I wouldn't hate. Like I do feel a little thin at wide receiver, but I wouldn't be opposed to going Barner into George Kittle here, or George Kittle into Barner, and then being done at Laporta and Barner for the first half of the season, and then having the spike week upside of George Kittle on the back end. But I don't know. I'm having a pretty hard time with the Kittle stuff, and he's gone anyway, so it doesn't matter. So AJ Barner's ADP is actually 170. So I guess I could try to push him. And I I think Cooper Kupp is underdrafted by a significant margin as well. Right. Like you basically, like the math says you spend over 21, 9 times 3,700 would be basically you guys spend like $35,000 to get a team to the BBM finals on average, something like that. Like rough math. I don't think Shaheed resigns, but he might. They do have the money to do it, right? And I think that I do think Shaheed signs somewhere where he is a good pick. So I'm in here. Do I want to finish out my running back room here? Trey Benson's a pick I haven't gotten to a lot. I don't think he's really that good at football. Do I want to take Hunter Henry here or a wide receiver? I think I'm just going to take Hunter Henry. Call it good. Like if I have to stop at those two, I'm fine stopping at those two, at Laporta and Henry. I would love to get Barner back. If I don't, I'm fine stopping at those two. It's times 9. It's 9.1 is the number. It's like one out of every 9.1 years, I believe, is what the math is. So it's 3,700 times 9.1, which roughly comes out to 35,000. I mean, I could do the math real quick on a calculator. So 3,750 times 9.1, $3,125. So you got to go $34,125 in on average, assuming my math is correct, on the 9.1 to get one team to the BBM finals. And then that team is only worth $3,750, 10%, like 9% of that, or I guess it'd be 12% of that or something. If you get last, right? You still have to get at the top. Like, if you don't finish in the top 10%, you still lose money over the course of those times. So, like, you not only have to thread that needle, then you have to thread the needle a second time. But every contest is like that, right? It's just how much money are you willing to put on the line, basically. And we were discussing this in my Discord the other day. I have a chat one, and every once in a while, a couple of us will get in and just talk. And we were discussing how bankroll management is something that's under discussed in best ball as a whole. And it's something that I'm very mindful of. But yeah, so my team right now, I've got 2 quarterbacks. I feel fine with them. I definitely want a third. I like my 2 tight ends. I feel thin at wide receiver. I feel great at running back. We all know what wide receiver I want at the end of the draft. We'll see if the room allows me to get Omar Cooper Jr. or not. I do have 30% of them, so I definitely want AJ Barner to be done at that position. So we're going to go ahead and take him. And I kind of want one of those 2 players to be done at that position. Actually, I'm just going to pull up the guy. The reason I took Sam Darnold was because I love Torrey Horton for this year. If Shaheed signs with Seattle, it's probably not the best pick. It's pulling him up the board. But if Shaheed signs anywhere else, like, it's a fantastic pick. I'm not positive he makes it back because a lot of you guys listen to me, and a lot of you guys pretty much agree that he's probably a good pick and that Shaheed is probably gone, right? So we get a double stack here, assuming that Shaheed is gone at a pretty good price. If Shaheed signs anywhere else, Torrey Horton probably moves up to around where Shaheed is going right now. And Shaheed probably moves up to around, like, about a round, I would think. What's up? You got 58% Torrey Horton? Smart man. And if you guys aren't subscribed over at Nice and Blunt, go over there, give him a sub. He started late. I don't know if you did best ball drafts that much last year. I know that this year you're definitely buckling down, doing a bunch. I've been over there listening every time I've seen him live. But we are, like, I like this. Like, the entire point of me taking Sam Darnold was to get Torrey Horton. Like, if you followed me for a while, you probably knew as soon as I took Sam Darnold that my goal was to get Torrey Horton. So, and I definitely want to do that in the bigger board, which is a high dollar contest. You didn't do any pre-draft best ball last year. Heck yeah. Once a degen, like, it's hard to degen in the other direction, right? It's easy to degen into more, right? Like, I'm a degen, like, I know it. So I would like to add another quarterback. but I don't like the quarterbacks left. And JJ McCarthy, like they've already said they want to add a guy. So it feels kind of thin. Like I'm going to just take a gamble on Kirk Cousins on this team, I think. We're going to take Flournoy first. I think Flournoy, especially on a team I wait a little while, like I think he's one of the better, more mispriced players in the draft. Now, do I want to go ahead and pull Cousins up, or do I want to wait? Like, there's only two guys I'm really comfortable with here. It's Cousins and it's Shadur. So we're going to go ahead and pull up Kirk Cousins. Like, every big board team needs a Derek Carr who retires, right? Everyone needs it. I had a bunch of them last year. So why not just make it a theme? Like, the way to advance a bigger board team is to draft a player that retired. That's how you do it. I know that's a secret for everybody. I know I'm letting out all the secrets, but yeah, just know that. The secret is to make sure you have a retired player at quarterback. Oh, wow. I hadn't looked at that. Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, Josh Allen, Zay Flowers, all good. You need to wash down that Josh Allen with Drake May, Joe Burrow, Jackson Dart. Absolutely. Yeah. Makes me incredibly glad I took Sam Darnold. Tony Pollard, Tyrone Tracy, Brooks. Honestly, even if just one of those picks was something else, it would be almost serviceable. I mean, I'm assuming Omar Cooper already went. Yeah, game tight. All about Omar Cooper as well. Very smart. So we're going to take. What running back do we want to take a shot on here? I might just wait till the very last round. Yeah, that's what I think. I know what I'm going to do. I want. So I'm going to probably end up with 9 receivers, right? So if I'm going to end up with 9 receivers, I'm going to take one here and one at the end. I don't think I'm going to take Cooper Kupp here. I really like Jeremy Bernard. We're going to take him. And we're going to do something that's probably dumb. I'm going to go check something real quick in another screen on my war room to make sure I didn't do this in the war room. Okay, I didn't. We're going to take George Halani. I don't believe Charbonnet is going to be healthy. And Halani actually got a bunch of targets. I think he got, 4 targets in the last week's game. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, so he had 4 targets, 3 receptions last week. And this was in a playoff game, right? Like, if Sharps isn't healthy next year, like even for the first half of the season, like it's a stack. So taking a page out of ETX's book, I see. Yeah, I'm definitely going to post that team to X and filter people to the stream, hopefully, because it was. Oh, sorry about not having the board up there. Shame. Halani's also a player that I want some of, but I don't want a whole lot of. And throwing one $100 dart on it on a team that started Gibbs, Chase Brown, Judkins feels fine, right? Like I have them and then Emmett Johnson and George Halani as another player. Like I could probably stop at these wide receivers as well. Rice, McLaurin, Evans, Pearsall, Shaheed, Horton, Flournoy, Bernard. I could stop there. I could probably take another. I mean, I guess Jordan James would make sense here too, but I think I want another wide receiver. I think I want to rely that those three kind of carry my team a little bit. And a team like this, like Chris Bell, makes some sense, right? Okay, like as a ninth receiver, I love Chris Bell. Just while we're talking about it, where do I think Kirk Cousins is going to go? I don't know. I don't know where I think Cousins goes. I mean, if Cooper Kupp's there at the very end, like do I take him as a potential stack? Not anymore. Nope. Jake Bobo? Free agent Jake Bobo, anybody? We got, I mean, Isaiah Bond's kind of a good pick. Who else do I want to take some of? I think we're going to take Isaiah Bond. Honestly, I kind of assume that Minnesota tries for Cousins, but Minnesota is $40 million under the cap right, or over the cap right now. So I don't know. All right, so we got a 3-5-9-3. Let me know what you think of the team in the chat. We got Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and Kirk Cousins. Running backs: Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown, Judkins, Emmett Johnson, George Halani. A little shot there, calling a shot, like projecting forward that Charbonnet isn't healthy most of the season, and the running back 2 on the team. I do think it's very likely that they add somebody in the draft or free agency as well. But as of right now, I think it's a fine pick. Wide receiver: Rashee Rice, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Rashid Shaheed, Torrey Horton, Ryan Flournoy, Jeremy Bernard, and Isaiah Bond. And then tight ends: Laporta, Hunter Henry, and AJ Barner. What do you guys think of the team in the chat? Let me know what you think, and I'm going to review the rest of you's team. We got Cade at the 101, a 3.683. Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, Cam Ward. That's really solid. Running backs: Bijan, Tootin. So you pushed running back after the first one. Tootin, Tucker, Rachaad White, Brian Robinson, Ray Davis. I like taking both of those because very unlikely Rachaad White comes back. Wide receivers should probably be absolutely stacked with the way your team's built. Nico, Olave, Burden, Waddle, Parker Washington, Xavier Worthy, Jaden Reed, and Godwin. That is an insane, like, I probably don't add Godwin there, but like it's an insane room. And then Gunnar Helm, Tonjes, and Jonnu. Absolutely nothing at tight end, but all guys that could work. Tonjes is a guy I've been taking specifically every time I take Brock Purdy. So in this draft, I wanted to not do that. Yeah, it's a really solid team. Not that my team's perfect, but the only thing I would have changed, if anything, is Godwin to be something else. Probably a better running back. We got game tight here at the 8. 3-5-9-3 as well. Caleb Williams, Kyler Murray, Malik Willis. Running backs: Achane, Jeremiah Love, Kenneth Walker, Kyle Monangai, Mike Washington Jr. Really solid running back room there. Wide receivers: DJ Moore and Rome, possibly both stacked up with Caleb Williams. Denzel Boston, Pat Bryant, Isaac Tesla, Trey Harris, Omar Cooper, Jalen Noel, Malik Washington. So you got the triple stack with Loveland as well. That's fun. Kyler and Malik. So you're just kind of hoping you get some stacks other than that, but you got the big one, right? And then Sadiq and Likely, really solid team. Mega Bears stack there. And you're not thin at those positions either. And if DJ Moore leaves, like you still have the double with Colson, Loveland, and Rome, which is actually my favorite Bear stack as Loveland Rome. We got Peanut here at the 10, 2, 7, 8, 3. You got Jaden Daniels. We got Justin Herbert. We got Ashton Genty, David Montgomery, Jonah Coleman, J.K. Dobbins, Tajay Spears, Joe Mixon. I'm still having a hard time with Mixon. I respect it. I'm not there. I'm going to do it when he falls 20 picks past ADP. And he does. Najee Harris. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Quentin Johnston, Trey Tucker, Marvin Mims, Rashad Bateman. Tight ends, Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews, and Colby Parkinson. So you got some team stacks there with Baltimore. You have no stack with Jaden Daniels, which is whatever. And Herbert, you have Quentin Johnston, and it looks like Gadsden got taken before you could get him. And yeah, so you got a skinny stack, but some people forget Justin Herbert was number 2 in rush yards a quarterback this year. It was like 499 or something. Let's look. 498. 498 was number 2 this year at quarterback in rush yards. And then we got Dirty P at the 11. If you're in here and you were listening and I haven't reviewed your team and you'd like me to, say something, and then we will be wrapping up this stream. From the 11, you got a 3-5-9-3. Bryce Young, Tyler Shuck, Michael Penix. Running backs, James Cook, Hampton, Ramondre, Jordan Mason, Devin Neal. So a bunch of us took 3 earliest running backs and then went 5 running backs. It's very interesting in the high dollar draft. That's what we decided to do. Wide receiver, McMillan, Devontae Adams, who I really like, Mekhi Lemon, Jacoby Myers, Jalen Coker, Kayshawn Boutte, DK, Darnell Mooney, Devon Vele. This is very solid. You got the Devon Vele stack there with the double Devon Vele, Juwan Johnson, Terrence Ferguson, Elias Stowers. You didn't end up getting Stafford. You do get Penix, assuming Mooney comes back and it's not cut. Yeah, this is also a very solid team. Oh, you passed on Gadsden. Got it. I could see a Kyler for Tua trade. I've heard that as well. It'll be very interesting to see what all happens. I've heard, what I've heard on Kyler is that if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, I've heard that the Steelers are interested in Kyler. That's the only news, and that was just like rumor mill stuff, right? Not guaranteed, but that is it. We I think are done. We have done way more drafts than we expected. We done 4 drafts, and one of them being a bigger board. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. I will be back on. I won't be on tomorrow. We're gonna enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow. I hope everybody. Oh, actually, hold on. We're not done. I said I was gonna review my drafters team. So my sweat for the weekend. This second chance drafters team. I'm currently in 25th place with 7 live players and 6 start. It's full PPR. So I have Sam Darnold, Walker. I pushed Travion Henderson through, JSN, Cooper Kupp, AJ Barner, and Kayshawn Boutte. So I have Henderson and Kayshawn Boutte. Barner has so there's one guy here, I think it was him maybe, who's got me almost fully covered up, except I have Travion, right? So this guy's got 7, I think it's 7 more points than me, but I have Travion. So he's almost got me fully covered up, except I have Travion, right? So if Travion outscores the flex by 7 points, I can beat him. I'm only 16 points away from first. There's only like 4 teams ahead of me that have full rosters that can even support a full roster. So I'm absolutely going to move up. If Sam Darnold outscores Drake May, like I'm almost a lock to be top 10. So I do have a sweat. The problem is, and like I have to have Travion outscore that the flex by 7 points, which feels very thin right now, right? But if Travion has a big game, I do have an out to first. There is another guy with Travion that has a very similar team to mine, except he has Hunter Henry and I have AJ Barner, and I'm like 5 points behind that guy. So I need Travion to smash and Barner to outscore Hunter Henry by 5. And for Darnold to be the quarterback one, like, or at least to be within. None of the top teams are Drake May teams. They're all Darnold teams. So as long as Drake May, like Darnold and Drake May are within like 2 points of each other, and those other two things happen, I do have an avenue to first. So, but that is it. That is the stream. I want to thank everybody for coming out. But anyway, we are done. We will be back Monday at 4 p.m. Central with a guest. We will have Bindles on, assuming that he's still good. He said he was earlier in chat. So I will see everybody then. Have a great night. Peace.
Hey, we're grinding through the torment. High volume, no management. Taming souls indecent. Grinding drafts through the abyss, no rest in our veins. Feel striking like lightning, flooding endless pains from late season voids. He's dropping all the flames. Bestball Degens unite, shattering the chains. Old school RB stacking fury, derailing trendy trains. Who is commanding the storm etched in our brains? Who? Hey, thunder in the names, claiming all the kills. Flames, babes, games. Degen wrath of fuse, stone age torment remains. Bestball eternal, in remains infernal domain. Pterodactyl pigs screaming, Cayman chaos reigns. Fossil fury fuels the fire.